We welcome you to Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field here in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin for a Week 2 non-conference battle between the visiting Wisconsin Rapid Lincoln Red Raiders and the home team, the Sun Prairie Cardinals. How you doing, everybody? Welcome along as we are getting ready for Week 2 kickoff. Alex Stroff alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. And Dennis, a little Thursday night lights action here tonight.
Yeah, it's normally what NFL opens up on a Thursday night.
You got it.
And last week Middleton played up at Bayport on a Thursday, and now this week Sun Prairie in the Big 8 Conference gets from the Valley Football Association, Wisconsin Rapids, who, boy, I tell you, Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln, last week they drew Muskego, and now this week's Sun Prairie. I asked the coach, so there he goes, I did. Just if you're going to play the best during the season.
Exactly. So. Yeah, definitely one of the more impressive openings to a season in the state for Wisconsin Rapids. They were not able to top the powerhouse that Muskego is, falling 21-7 at home in the Week 1 matchup. But certainly held in there. It was 14-7 going into the fourth quarter. So I'm sure that head coach Tony Biolo pretty impressed with what he saw out of his group last week and hoping the tough competition only makes them tougher here going on a bit of a road trip here to Sun Prairie.
Yeah, last week they went up against a Muskego team that did not attempt a pass. They just ran the ball, pretty much tried to run it down. Wisconsin Rapids is also a running team with the wing T for Muskego versus the flexbone triple option that the Red Raiders are going to be running tonight. But you're going to see a Sun Prairie team last week that passed for 343 yards. Jerry Kaminsky, the son of head coach Brian Kaminsky, had a very good debut. Now in the spring, he was able to split time with Brady Stevens, who was an all-conference quarterback the year before, and really got his feet wet. And I've asked the coaches, spring football to the summer now, the retention has been a lot more. Brian Kaminsky talked about that players able to retain a lot more of the things they learn. And Jerry, we saw that with Jerry last week. He completed 19 of 26, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. In the spring, he had 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. So taking care of the football is a priority. Your dad says don't fumble the ball, don't turn it over.
You don't fumble the ball and turn it over.
He did not. So very great debut. And he also ran for 31 yards and a touchdown, too. So Jerry can beat you with his feet as well as his arm.
Yeah, Jerry Kaminsky, you mentioned it. 343 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air last year. That's almost half of his entire season stats from the spring, Dennis. Just under 600 yards and 7 touchdowns for Jerry Kaminsky in the spring for Sun Prairie. As we're getting ready for some Week 2 action here in Sun Prairie, this is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, streaming exclusively tonight on the all-new video version of Wisconsin On Demand. Just click the Watch Live button on Wisconsin On Demand. I'm assuming you already made it here if you're hearing this. So tell your friends. Click the Watch Live button on WisconsinOnDemand.com. Do want to tell you about our friends over at Zimbrick Honda. For nearly 50 years, Zimbrick Honda has provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles. The trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches you. If you're looking for a new or used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda in Madison today or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search current inventory. Now, Dennis, you mentioned it's Sun Prairie, been a powerhouse the last few years. We had to be really, really happy with what they saw last week. A 48-point showing in a 48-7 win at Hudson last week. Now they return to their home field, which you've dubbed, I believe, the University of Wisconsin at Sun Prairie. This stadium's beautiful, but got to be happy with what they came away with last week and a tough competition tonight with Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. But 48 points in the season opener, that ain't too shabby.
No, the Cardinals last won the conference title in 2018. They were 10-2 that year. Year before that, 2017, 13-1 overall. They were the Division I runners-up and won the conference title. So they've been in the mix. 19, they were 8-4, and last spring, 6-0. So at Sun Prairie, they don't rebuild, they reload. And they're known for their offensive lines, the in-your-face defense, and they've always had a solid kicking game. Always seem to come up with a kicker. Owen Kanapaki, now at the Air Force Academy, just finished his boot camp this summer. and going to be starting out his freshman year there. I think people thought he might have redshirted a few years. He was here forever. So Sun Prairie's got a new kicker. We'll see what Trevor Schultz does for them tonight. But this is just a solid program top to bottom. And when I opened up their program, in this program that was put together by the Football Booster Club, is just tremendous. Cardinal football, undivided, focused on what matters most. They've got everything in here you could possibly want, including a picture with 23 coaches.
Yeah, wow.
Now, that's not varsity. Varsity, I think, is at 12, but 23 from top to bottom. So a lot of men dedicated to making this program what it has been and what it will be. And when you look back also, what's pretty cool about this is that since 1945, they've only had 3 head coaches in Sun Prairie. Francis Sheehan, Mike Hahn, who I got to know at the beginning of my career, and now Brian Kaminsky. Mike is his father-in-law, so kind of kept that one in the family. But they've won 552 games since 1945. So now, starting next year, though, there will not be just one Sun Prairie.
There will be 2.
This will be Sun Prairie East, the team we're seeing tonight. Sun Prairie West, the Wolves, and I drove by that on Highway 19 coming in. Boy, that building's going up. It's going to be a tremendous facility over there. But the teams will share the football field. And you were amazed. You looked and said, wow, Wolves in one end, Cardinals in the other.
Yeah.
Jesse Nelson and I got to see that when we opened up the spring season. Verona was here. And just this is a tremendous facility. And
Tremendous.
not as many fans in here yet as, again, with the pandemic. You don't see quite as many in the crowd. But, boy, this place, I believe is 4,000 seat capacity is what I was told.
Unbelievable.
And this will now be a place for good for sectional finals. I'd like to see some tournaments here. It's going to be used in the community for a lot of other activities as well.
No doubt about it. When you talk about this facility, Dennis, I'm a graduate of UW Stevens Point, head coach of Sun Prairie, Brian Kaminsky, a graduate of UW Whitewater, both in the WIAC, and they don't have facilities like this. This is incredible. I was a play-by-play voice of Stevens Point for 4 years. Never saw a stadium quite like Sun Prairie's got going for their what will be 2 schools as the Sun Prairie East marching band starting to make their way in.
Well, my son went to Whitewater. He's a Whitewater grad, and that's a pretty nice place to play. I'll tell you, with the turf. But you're right. For a high school, this is tremendous, and the video board, like Sun Prairie, like Wanakee's got, you're going to start seeing that coming up now in some stadiums. But this is just wow. I mean, thinking of the old days, you got a grass field, and you've got the markers like every 10 yards, but you can't tell in between if it's a 2-yard or 3-yard run or what. But the field, it just, and then the logos, the wolf.
It's beautiful.
Whoever designed that, that's pretty cool.
They deserve
logo.
a pay raise, I believe, Dennis, but that is the truth. He's the Dean, Dennis Semrau. I'm Alex Strofe. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, streaming exclusively on WisconsinOnDemand.com, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and wherever you get your podcasts once the game has come to a close. About 5 minutes away from the national anthem, as I mentioned, as the Sun Prairie marching band makes their way onto the field. But I want to talk about the visitor tonight, Dennis, the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders, 0-1 on the season. We mentioned last week a dogfight with Muskego, one of the powerhouses in the state of Wisconsin's football scene. 21-7 the final there, but some good performances for them. Quarterback Caden Sengbush, 1 for 5, only completed 1 pass last week, Dennis, but that was a 44-yard touchdown pass that he threw and completed last week. Leo Brostowicz, their running back, the junior, 5'9", 185, downs the number 8. He had 16 attempts on the ground last week for a total of 91 yards. So while they're 0-1 on the record books, this is a pretty solid ball squad with some really solid players.
Yeah, the Red Raiders returned 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen from a year ago, averaged 5'11", 238 pounds. But the one newcomer, 5'9", 270-pound sophomore center. That's a big boy there in the middle.
Elias Diaz, yeah.
First-year starter. The left side, you got brothers Mitch and Jack Blockice, start at left tackle and left guard. And then at right tackle, Luke Hofferman is a 3-year starter. They run that flexbone triple option where they're just going to try to you have to play assignment football on defense. Otherwise, they'll kind of nickel and dime you. And then what happens? We saw that Reedsburg did that for years, and that was one of the teams that always gave Wanakee trouble because not too many people run that offense. Well, Sun Prairie's going to have to see that tonight. Just when you're loading up, put 8, 9 in that box, they're going to find that one open receiver and kind of burn you on defense. So, but last weekend, can imagine, I like to call it the natural running clock. There's no passes attempted, so that baby's moving along. Well, Sun Prairie's, even with the passes that Kaminsky threw last week, I mean, he only had 7 incompletions, no interceptions. So you like to see the game moving along. You don't want to see turnovers. You don't want to see a lot of mistakes. And these are two teams that had very good opening games for Sun Prairie, driving up to Hudson. That was a trip they left on Thursday, played on Friday. Took 191 people out of their program that went up there. And Coach Kaminsky said it was about $14,000 they had a fundraise for. And it was very well, I think, money spent for this program. But there's nothing better than making a long road trip, driving back when you got a W instead of an L.
Absolutely. As the Cardinals trot onto the field, I'm always intrigued by the signs that the players run through. Last week, we saw Punt the Panthers. This week, we got Land of the Cards as they congregate at their 35-yard line, a Sun Prairie flag, a United States flag, and a Wisconsin state flag, all in the mix there in the huddle as they stand on the Cardinal logo midfield here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field. In Sun Prairie, Alex Strofe alongside the Dean, Dennis Semrau. We're getting ready for some Thursday night lights. I'm not used to saying Thursday night lights, but like you mentioned earlier, Dennis, the NFL kicks off on Thursday. We've got college football on Thursday, so I might as well just get used to saying Thursday night lights because here we are just a few minutes from kickoff. So, Dennis, keys to the game. Let's start with Sun Prairie, who's 1-0 on the year, a big win at Hudson last week, just keeping the foot on the gas, right?
Right. They need to get Rapids behind the chains right away, force them 3 and outs, force them to throw the football. Again, only 5 attempts last week. But the big one is stopping their fullback, Leo Brostowicz, who led them with 16 carries, 91 yards, like you mentioned earlier. He's kind of the key in that flexbone triple option offense.
And for Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln, Dennis, you talked to their head coach, Tony Biolo, and he said, we cannot afford any turnovers against this Sun Prairie squad.
No, he said, execute everything we do spot on. No mistakes.
Ooh.
Have to control the ball, so you can't afford the turnovers. But more importantly, control the clock offensively. Again, running this flex bone, when I've seen Reedsburg do it, I've seen them run 14, 15 plays and use 11 minutes of a quarter on one drive. If Rapids does that tonight, it's going to be a long night for Sun Prairie.
We are going to step aside just a few minutes from kickoff as the national anthem begins to play here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania on Wisconsin On Demand. Just about go time here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium in Sun Prairie as the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders take on the Sun Prairie Cardinals. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania on Wisconsin On Demand and ESPN Madison. Alex Strofe alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. Well, Dennis, it's just about go time as the Sun Prairie Cardinals have their home opener here at Ashley Field. And like I said a few times already, Dennis, they opened the season just about as good as you can. 48-7 win over Hudson last week. Now they return for their home opener, and they're hoping they can keep the gas to the pin to the floor, if you will.
Yeah, you look going back to the spring. Sun Prairie outscored the opponents 55-7 in the first quarter, 81-7 in the second quarter games. And last week they had 14 in each of the first and second quarters, getting off to a good start there. And then by third quarter they got the running clock, and it was a pretty quick end of the game for that one. Scored 20 points in the second half. So the Cardinals, with the defense they play, you cannot afford mistakes in a short field. You want to make that offense have to go 70, 80 yards. And we'll see tonight whether Rapids will be able to do that.
Well, Sun Prairie will get the first crack at offense as their kick return team out on the field. Wisconsin Rapids kicking team making their way out to the field and just about ready to go. A few men back for Sun Prairie as Wisconsin Rapids gets set up. Sun Prairie will work opening here from our left to our right. Red jerseys, red pants, black helmets, white lettering. Pretty much the opposite for Wisconsin Rapids, working from our right to our left. The white jerseys, white pants, white helmets, and red lettering. The kicker is Austin Juneman for the Red Raiders. And away we go. Kick is up and away. And away we go from Sun Prairie. Quick kick return. He's got room up the left sideline. Only one man to beat. And how about that to open play? A 90-plus yard kick return for a touchdown. Cortez LeGrand brings it all the way to the house. 13 seconds into this one, and the home team on top, 6-0. My, oh my. Here we go, Dennis.
Well, last week, first play from scrimmage was an 82-yard touchdown pass. They did it one better. Returned the kickoff. Wow,
My
that was
goodness.
incredible. Took it just to the right of the 10, around just inside the 10-yard line. Cut back across the grain and down the left sideline, right in front of the bench of the Red Raiders.
My goodness, Cortez LeGrand, the second running back for the Sun Prairie offense, at 45 yards on the ground. Last week, just thought about double that on his opening kick return here on a Thursday night Week 2 matchup. My goodness, if that's any indication of how things are going to go tonight for Sun Prairie, well, I think we're in for an offensive treat as it is quickly 6-0. Trevor Scholl's on to attempt the point after for the Cardinals. Hopes to give them a quick 7-0 lead, and that is exactly what he does. So 7-0, Sun Prairie. Well, I'm a little lost for words here, Dennis. That's a quick way to open this one.
13 seconds. You got to love that.
Gotta love that indeed. 7-0, Sun Prairie on top as we just get underway here from Ashley Field. Want to tell you about our pals over at GRB Academy, the baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be a part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square feet weight room. With over 300 college players and over 150 D1 players, GRB led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development, and it continues to do more of the same. Visit grbacademy.com for more information. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player. 7-0, Sun Prairie on top. 13 seconds into this one. Cortez LeGrand taking the opening kickoff back. About a 90-yard return there. And now Wisconsin Rapids going to get the opportunity to do the same, as Scholl's on to kick it away for the Cardinals. Kick is up, and it is away. And we will not get a return for Wisconsin Rapids. Leo Brostowitz there, running back, the kick returner as well for the Red Raiders.
Yep, anything in the end zone has to come out to the 20 at the high school level.
And that's where they'll start, Dennis, from their own 20-yard line is where Tony Biolo's offense will set up. Caden Sengbush, the quarterback, Leo Brostowitz, and Austin Juneman, the two lead backs. But they've got a crew of running backs. Eric Haupt, Philip Ross, Connor Buboltz. Also, we'll see some time. Actually, Eric Haupt out of this game. But the other two will certainly see some time down there. Now an offset formation as Sengbush is under center. He'll take the snap, hands it off. A hole on the right side for a gain of about 6 yards.
And at the bottom of the pile, there was number 20, Brandon Hernandez.
For the Cardinals.
Yeah, defensive back, left cornerback. Looking for 24, looking for Ham.
I'm not seeing him out there right now, Dennis.
See him out there right now. Isaac Ham, the All-State defensive end for the Cardinals. Top, looking at Power 5 schools are after him, putting Wisconsin and
one
Iowa.
of the best recruits in the state, Dennis.
Top defensive recruit in the state.
Sengbush just faked a handoff, went towards the option, pitched it to Juneman, and he was swallowed up for a big loss. So it'll be now 3rd and 11 for the Rapids offense. Just over a minute into this one, Sun Prairie with a 7-0 lead. Cortez LeGrant took the opening kickoff back for a score to give the home team an early lead.
We'll say about 92 yards on that kickoff
92
return.
is what we're going with?
I had a bar right here in front. When I looked to the left and I looked to the right, he was already crossing the 10. So
yeah, he showed a burst of speed and acceleration up the left sideline, got a nice block at the end of it, and there was nowhere to go but the end zone. Quick handoff now to Brostowitz, and he's swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage, so that'll be a 4th and long, and we can expect to see the punt team here now for Lincoln.
Jorvang, number 40, linebacker there, just got underneath the pile, and pretty much linebackers. Usually it's the defensive lineman that hold things up. This was the case. The linebacker met him at the hole, and 4 or 5 guys dragged him down.
Jackson Schooley on to punt it away for the Red Raiders.
So a 3 and out for Sun Prairie, exactly what they wanted behind the chains.
And here's the return for Brady Shanahan. Muffed it at the beginning, picked it up, and got it back to the 40-yard line. A nice tackle there by Eric Haupt of the Lincoln Red Raiders.
Yeah, 40 yards on that punt there. Nice
punt.
Nice field. Again, we're playing kind of the field position game. Sun Prairie, though, only has to go 60 yards here for that score. We'll see last week, 82 yards on that first offensive play. We'll see what Coach Kaminsky has up his sleeve for this one.
Sun Prairie looking to add on to their early lead just 3.5 minutes into this game. Out of the gun is Kaminsky. Kaminsky looks for a quick pass to his right side. And he's got a man who's wrapped up. Gets it back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like. Addison Ostrenga there on the reception. The Iowa football commit. Initially, Dennis, an Iowa baseball commit, Ostrenga was.
Yes, and we'll be hearing from Addison next week as our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Look forward to hearing from him. Obviously, a lot of recruiting stories from him. A freak athlete is Addison Ostrenga, 6'5", 225, and one of their top wideouts as well as defensive backs. Now here's a fake handoff as Kaminsky's just going to take it himself. He rolls left and is wrapped up after a gain of about 5, gets it up to the 45-yard line before he's brought down. So already gaining some traction here as the Sun Prairie offense there on their second play from scrimmage.
Jackson Schooley, the free safety, and Brendan Hubert, cornerback, pulled him down. Yeah, it was a loss of 1 on that first pass that he threw. This time he picks up 6 to get him in a good 3rd and 5.
Sun Prairie looking to gain a first down. The marker right at midfield, the 50-yard line. Now out of the gun. Kaminsky fakes a handoff, passes it. He's got a man. It's Davis Hamilton. Hamilton's got space up the right sideline. Oh, my goodness. He's all the way. A 55-yard connection from Jerry Kaminsky to Davis Hamilton for the second touchdown early in this first quarter for the Cardinals. Now a 13-0 lead on the 55-yard connection.
Just needed 93 seconds to go 55 yards. The worst nightmare for Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln here. Kickoff return and a long pass play. And here we are, barely 4 minutes into the game.
My goodness.
And Sun Prairie's already up by 2 scores.
Already a clinic for the Cardinals here in their home opener. 13-0. Trevor Scholes on to attempt the point after. His first attempt was as good as it gets, right up the gut. Here's his second point after attempt in 4 minutes. That one also good, so make it 14-0. Sun Prairie on top here in their home opener over the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders. Pizza Pit for over 50 years has been delivering fast, fresh, and hot pizza. But Pizza Pit isn't just pizza. They serve breadsticks, pizza fries, wings, gyros, and Dennis's favorite sandwiches. With 8 area locations, including one right up the road here from Ashley Field. You can't go wrong. Pizza Pit even easier to order on the Pizza Pit app. Download it wherever you get your applications today. And don't forget the cookies or the ice cream at Pizza Pit. Dennis, we were talking about pregame. I think you're going to stop at your favorite Pizza Pit location after this
we'll
one,
see.
huh?
I went to the one in Stoughton last week. They closed at 10. I got there at 5 after 10.
Well, the way this one started, we might be out of here before 10 o'clock. 14-0, Sun Prairie on top. We're only 4 minutes and 6 seconds into this game.
Yeah, last week Davis Hamilton had 5 catches, 98 yards, including that long touchdown. And this week, his dad, Rob, is the baseball coach. And Davis, like Strenga, part of that state championship baseball team last year. So these guys are used to winning in a lot of different sports. Hamilton and Strenga also play basketball. At a school the size of Sun Prairie, over 2,000 right now, 3 sport athletes is pretty rare.
That's pretty impressive for both of those guys. Scholes kick again will go through the end zone, so Rapids again for their second offensive possession will take over on their own 20-yard line, 80 yards to go. And another nice kick by Trevor Scholes, the kicker for this Sun Prairie team. Scholes, a junior, plays kicker mainly, but also comes in at wide receiver and defensive back. So a lot of experience on all 3 aspects of the ball for Trevor Scholes.
Okay, so if you're playing football bingo here, we've had a kickoff return for a touchdown and a long pass play for a touchdown. What's next? How about a turnover for a touchdown?
Maybe a pick 6 or a recovered fumble. That one will go for a handoff and a gain of 5. Nice carry there by Brostowicz. Mentioned he had 16 carries and 91 yards in Wisconsin Rapids. 21-7 lost to Muskego last week. Muskego, one of, if not the best football program in the state of Wisconsin year to year. So they held in there last week, hoping to do the same here, but not a good start for Wisconsin Rapids, down 14-0 early in this first quarter.
Yeah, Joe Vang with his second tackle of the game. He had 1 last week, so he's already doubled his efforts for the year.
Can't be too upset about that, can you? Handoff once again. No, he faked that one, but he's going to be wrapped up by a crew of Cardinals. 4 there to bring down Sangbush.
Vang in the middle of that one again, along with, we got number 19, Davis Hamilton. Like a Stringa playing both ways here tonight. Also, Nick Orline, a senior linebacker. So a nice threesome there. 3 amigos meeting at the quarterback.
And Jorvang comes off the field after that one. Looks like he got slightly shaken up. Hopefully he'll be all right.
So we've had 5 plays from scrimmage for Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln, 2 tackles for loss already for Sun Prairie.
Not
so
too shabby.
Trying to put them behind the chains, which is one of their keys.
3rd and 7 now from their own 23. Here's a pass, Sangbush, and he could not connect with his man. Threw it too far out in front of him. Connor Boobles.
Yeah, I think Trenton Wagner, number 8, got his hand up there. I think that might have affected the receiver. I don't know if he deflected it, but I think sometimes you get a hand up there as a receiver, you kind of flinch, and I think that was a catchable ball. And I think the receiver kind of maybe gave up a little bit on the end of that one.
Just out in front of him, couldn't quite get his hands on it, but Sun Prairie now going to get a chance to get their hands on it as Wisconsin Rapids another 3 and out here. They'll once again punt it away. And there is the punt. That one not quite as good as the last one from Jackson Schooley. That'll stay in Rapids territory. Interested to see where they'll mark this. Looks like about the 41-yard line of Lincoln. So if last drive for Sun Prairie on offense is any indication, this should be a piece of cake. Only 41 yards to go.
Yeah, we've had a 3-play drive for 1 yard and a 3-play drive for 3 yards on Rapids' first 2. So Sun Prairie defense coming out just like they did last spring on a mission. And that punt only went 18 yards.
Yikes.
So now where that 40-yarder gave him a pretty good, just over the midfield stripe, at the 40-yard line. This is on the other side. Now you're in Wisconsin Rapids territory right away. And do we have a timeout here?
It's what it seems. A recover 180 timeout that is,
Yep.
Dennis. Recharge, reset, and recover with recover 180. I'm doing just that here in the press box. Got the citrus in my hand of recover 180. It is a premium functional hydration solution for everyone who lives life on the go, on the field, in the gym, or at the office. Recover 180 is the drink that will keep you feeling your absolute best. With only 60 calories and 3 times more electrolytes than other leading sports drinks, Recover 180 improves energy, reduces stress, and offers rapid relief and recovery from dehydration. Reset, recharge, and recover, rather, with Recover 180. Well, back to the action here at Ashley Field as the Sun Prairie offense sets up at the 41-yard line of Lincoln. Out of the gun now is Jerry Kaminsky, the junior quarterback. He'll fake a handoff and dart one to his right side. No one in the area, really. It was intended for John Vanderwall.
A little double coverage there, and maybe just threw that one away.
Definitely threw it into coverage, but wants another go at it here. They'll once again line up out of the gun. Looks like Colton Walters be back in the backfield. That one's thrown high and brought down. They will say he's out of bounds. Addison Ostrenga there on the out-of-bounds reception. But when your guy's 6'5", Dennis, you might as well just float it up there a few times a game, see if he can come down with it. That's what they attempted there, but just too far to the left.
Yeah, you want to get one of those where if the receiver can't catch it, nobody can. Defense is right inside.
And once again, he'll look to throw. He's got his tight end there, Davis Hamilton, who had a big touchdown reception earlier in the game. He's got another big reception there, a gain of 17 yards up to the 24.
Yeah, Sun Prairie pretty much doing whatever it wants right now on offense and on defense.
So now a fresh set of downs, nearing the red zone. Is Sun Prairie doing it through the air for the most part so far here in this one. They'll try to do just that again. A nice little route and caught to Connor Stoff on the left side. And gets a gain there of about 6 yards. So that'll set up a 2nd and 4. Just outside of the red zone. who they'll actually mark it just inside, from the 19-yard line now in red zone territory. Once again out of the gun, Kaminsky. This time he hands it off to LeGrant, but he's swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there, and that'll bring up a third down for Sun Prairie, who has a 14-point lead with 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. This presentation of Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania, streaming exclusively on Wisconsin On Demand. The video stream. We're not even on the radio tonight, Dennis.
Nope.
Here's a third down play. Kaminsky now finds Ostrango, who's in motion really in the backfield. He gets a nice block and then breaks through a tackle up the near sideline all the way up to, I think, about the 5-yard line as Waldo marked that. He fell forward, and with a 6'5" frame, that'll certainly help you get some extra yards.
Yep, always preach fall forward. The bigger they are, the farther they fall, right?
That's exactly how that goes. The bigger, the further and the harder they fall as Addison Ostrango fights his way for a nice gain there. And that'll make it first and goal from the 5-yard line of Lincoln. Cardinals already up 14-0 in this one now. Only 5 yards out from making this an even bigger lead. Lincoln only allowed Muskego to score 21 points last week, and they might allow Sun Prairie to do that here in the first quarter as we have another Recover 180 timeout, reset, recharge, recover with Recover 180. .354 left on the clock, 14-0 your score. Here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at the University of Wisconsin at Sun Prairie. My goodness, is this not only a beautiful night for football, but a beautiful place to be for football. Dennis, this stadium's so big, they have sections listed out. I can see across from us, sections I through P on the visitors' side.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad crowd over there for the visitors, considering how many people had a drive from Wisconsin
all the
Rapids.
way from Wisconsin Rapids, about a 90-minute drive from there. But they came out to support. It looks like they've got a solid student section there on the left side near the...
On the Sun Prairie side, they were coming out. I love it. A lot of people like hanging out. Well, on the south side, the end zone there, right above the Bank of Sun Prairie logo, you can see that whole long fence there, and everybody's leaning up looking for the next touchdown for Sun Prairie.
And here's the snap from the 5. Kaminsky drops back, throws to the end zone. A beautiful pass and a beautiful connection to guess who?
Hamilton.
Davis Hamilton with his second touchdown of the night. Make it 20-0 with 3:48 remaining in the first quarter. This one's starting to get ugly if you're Wisconsin Rapids. Like I mentioned, Muskego, one of the powerhouse programs in the state, only scored 21 points against Wisconsin Rapids in the opener last week. Now, Sun Prairie only an extra point away from doing just that, but only in the first quarter.
Yeah, in 8 minutes. Wow.
Pretty
nice
solid
showing.
start. And here's the extra point attempt, up and good. Make it 21-0. Sun Prairie doing everything they want. They're getting their way so far early in this one, Dennis.
7 plays, 41 yards on that drive. That was after a 3-play, 60-yard drive. So Cardinals are looking very good here. Defense, they've had 2 3-and-outs and 2 scores on their first offensive possessions and a special teams touchdown.
Yeah, to open it up, Cortez LeGrant on the opening kickoff took it 92 yards to the house on their first offensive drive from scrimmage. Kaminsky found Davis Hamilton for a 55-yard hookup all the way to the house, and on the latest drive, it was Kaminsky to Hamilton again. That one for a little bit shorter, only 5 yards on that one, but it counts for the same amount of points. 21-0. Now your score from Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium.
Well, we know who Kaminsky's favorite receiver is right now.
Yeah, I think we figured it out, haven't we?
He's got 5 touchdowns this year, 3 of them to Davis Hamilton. Starting second baseman on the state championship baseball team Jerry Kaminsky, though, did not play baseball. He had in the past. This year he went off a track and was on a relay and also the long jump, I believe. Asked Coach, I said, well, is he going to go back to baseball next year? You know, because we had that alternate football season impinging on that. And he goes, we'll see. So, thanks, Dad.
Jackson Schooley back to return for the Rapids Red Raiders.
Schultz is going to get tired out here.
Let's see if this one goes through the end zone like the last two did. I think it will,
yeah.
Dennis. It lands right on the D of Cardinals.
3 for 3.
And bounces into the brick wall behind the goalpost there. So they'll, on their third offensive drive for the third time, start on their own 20-yard line. Will the Red Raiders of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. Not too shabby of a start for the home team. 21-0 here with 3:48 left in this first quarter.
Well, trying to keep that streak alive. They did not lose a game in the spring, so not planning on losing anytime soon on their home field here.
1-0 on the year, already up 21-0 in this one. Now here's a big run for the junior running back, Leo Brostowicz. Gets forward, I believe he'll get a first down out of that. If not, it'll be real close, and they will mark it right at where that marker was, but they're going to move the chains without a measurement. So up to the 30-yard line, a 10-yard carry there for Brostowicz. Nolan Olson, the junior, in on the tackle for the Cardinals.
First 6 plays, total 4 yards. This time they got 10 and to start off their third drive of the night.
Yeah, that's their first down of the game. They'll go back to Brostowicz, who bounces off the line. Shimmies right and falls forward up to the 37-yard line. So Leo Brostowicz now trying to gain some steam for his offense. Two nice carries to open up that drive.
Michael McMillan and Addison Ostrenga there on the tackle.
They make our job easy here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium, don't they, Dennis? They put who gets the tackles right up on the scoreboard.
Oh, yep.
We don't even have to pay attention if we don't want to.
Actually, I'm trying to see if I can beat them before they get it up there.
Now a 2nd and 3 from the 37. Under center is Sangbush. He got some movement on the defensive side of the ball. He's happy about that one. That will give them a fresh set of downs. So that'll move the ball 5 yards forward up to the 42. So starting to gain some steam. Down 21-0. They certainly need it. Sangbush will line up under center. And we will have a timeout call.
Yep.
This one for Wisconsin Rapids. They recover 180. Timeout, reset, recharge, or recover like I'm doing with recover 180. I like the citrus. That's what I've got with me here in the press box. The nicely air-conditioned press box. Gotta make a comment on that because we're feeling good. It's certainly warm outside.
Yeah, clouds looking up like we're going to get a little bit of rain here maybe at some point.
Well, I'm glad we're closed in if that's the case.
Yeah, big week. A couple of big games tomorrow for us.
No doubt about it. We've got Lake Mills at Madison Edgewood, their first home game in 26 years, Dennis. So we'll be at that one tomorrow starting at 4:30. Stream starts at 4:15 right here on Wisconsin On Demand. Greg Scalzo said we couldn't bump him from the radio lineup. So once again tomorrow we'll be streaming live right here on Wisconsin On Demand for the Lake Mills Elcats and the Edgewood Crusaders. And then, Dennis, tomorrow night, Middleton and Wanakee is where you'll be. We'll be chatting with you during our Prep Mania studio show.
Yeah, right during Good Neighbor Festival. Come on, have a good time party in Middleton.
Sangbush airs that one out. He's got a man past midfield. A great jumping snag there for Connor Boobles, the running back and slot receiver. Great catch, solid pass, and they're moving the chains now, are the Red Raiders, into Cardinal territory. They'll mark the ball at the 40-yard line.
23 yards on the completion there. Finally got the ball into Sun Prairie territory for the first time here tonight. I was throwing it a double coverage, too.
Sangbush hands it off to Brostowicz. Brostowicz used the A gap on the right side to fall forward for a gain of about 8 yards there, Dennis. Yep. Leo Brostowicz starting to find his footing here on their third offensive drive.
That's his third carry, and we're about the 33.
Up to 25 yards, I believe, on this drive alone.
24, 3 for 24.
Those math classes at Stoughton High are starting to pay off over here for me. Had a thriller last week between Oregon and Stoughton to kick off the Prep Mania season. And another good one here as Sangbush has some space. He's on the near sideline. The 15 pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
That's number 12. It's Lucas Teal.
Teal Lucas.
Teal Lucas, rather, the backup quarterback. Yeah.
He's in the game now for Caden Sangbush. Yeah. And now Sangbush will trot back up as Teal Lucas comes up. So they were just looking for a burst of speed, and they certainly found one. Brought it all the way up to the 10-yard line, makes it a 1st and goal for the Red Raiders offense looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. 1 minute, 11 seconds remain in this first quarter. Brostowicz goes right, breaks a tackle. He's in. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Make it 21-6 as Leo Brostowicz is in for his first touchdown of the high school football season. Had 91 yards from scrimmage last week, but no scores. He changes that this week. Up to 34 yards on that drive for Leo Brostowicz, and he taps it off with a touchdown. 21-6, 1 minute, 7 seconds remain in the first quarter here from Sun Prairie.
Yeah, I can see why Coach Biolo likes him.
Me too.
Good speed. I mean, he broke tackles. He runs with a good pad level, and he's not afraid of contact.
Juneman's point after attempt up and good. Make it 21-7 here in Week 2 high school football action on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. Also brought to you in part by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity right now at Stoughton Trailers. In their 60th year, Stoughton Trailers has built a lot of trailers, and their customers want more. Join a winning team with immediate openings at new higher pay rates on both first and second shift at their Broadhead, Evansville, and Stoughton locations. Assemblers, forklift drivers, welders, and more. Go to STOjobs.com. That's STOjobs.com. Stoughton Trailers, big trailers, and big opportunity. 21-7 your score as Leo Brostowicz brings in a 10-yard carry to give the Red Raiders their first score of the evening.
Yeah, he ended up with 4 carries for 34 yards on that touchdown drive. 6 plays, 80 yards in 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And after 2 3-and-outs, Rapids said, that Sun Prairie defense isn't so tough. Let's go down the field. Well, now we're going to have to Cardinals are going to have to counter that. And nothing better than to put more points back on the board right after you give up a touchdown. Why don't you go and try to score one?
No doubt about it. Austin Juneman's kick up and away as Sun Prairie with a 14-point lead will take back over on offense. And they're going to have pretty good field position, Dennis, as that one bounces out of bounds around the 17-yard line.
That could have been intentional. They didn't want him to return it. That was a squib kick, and it didn't end up in fair territory and ended up hooking and going out of bounds. So we're going to start. 1st and 10 on the 35, it looks like.
That is correct.
Cardinals will take it.
Right on the Wolves logo. Well, the Wolves are non-existent currently. That's Sun Prairie West High School currently being built. We mentioned in the pregame show, Dennis, you drove past it today. Construction off to a good start. So this school district will break into 2 high schools beginning fall of next year. So Sun Prairie will become the Sun Prairie East Cardinals, and Sun Prairie West, the Wolves, will come into effect starting next fall. They'll also use Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium as their home field. As you can see, the Cardinals starting from the Wolves logo. There's a pass from Kaminsky, and there's going to be a big gain all the way up to the 46-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. That's Colton Walters, the stud running back. Had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. for the Cardinals.
I believe that's the first time that Walters has touched the ball tonight.
First reception at the very least, can tell you that much.
Yeah, they did not have a rush.
Kaminsky, now quick pass and a quick catch before being dragged down. That's Connor Stoff. One of his favorite targets, as we've discovered tonight. Davis Hamilton might be the number one favorite target, but Connor Stoff, not too shabby either. He had a touchdown last week, 3 catches, and 110 yards. Now, if my math serves me correctly, that is an average of about 38 yards per catch. How'd I do there, Dennis?
36.7.
Okay, I was close.
Close enough for government work. Here we are.
So a second down play, second down and 5, right from the midfield marker, but we'll actually wait until after another Recover 180 timeout. Already the third timeout used in this first quarter. Again for Sun Prairie. Recover 180, reset, recharge, and recover. With Recover 180. 21-7 your score. Sun Prairie back on offense, and they're starting to roll. A ball at their own 49, about to flip the field now if they get any gain on this second down play.
What do we use all? Was it 6 timeouts or 5 or 6 in the first half?
5 or 6 in the first half of the Oregon-Stoughton game last week. Our game of the week here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on ESPN Madison and Wisconsin On Demand.
They used them all in the second half last week. So
11 of 12 they
yeah.
used. Yeah, and that one was a nail-biter. Went right down to the finish as our last week's UW Credit Union Athlete of the Week had 4 touchdowns. Derek Hill, the running back of the Stoughton Vikings.
Yeah, I was sort of surprised. We did not see any stoppage of play for cramps. There was one injury. Maybe it was possible that one, but the player taking a pretty good hit. But there were a lot of other games that guys were having problems. Maybe it's because they used all those timeouts to help out. So method to their madness.
Method to the madness indeed. One man in motion. There's the snap to Kaminsky.
Oh, yeah.
Kaminsky has some pressure coming at him. He's going to throw it all the way down the field, and he'll just tiptoe his way into the end zone. John Vanderwall on the reception just before time expires here in the first quarter. 4 seconds left, and a beautiful 51-yard connection from Jerry Kaminsky to John Vanderwall.
Actually, it was on the other side of the line, 49.
49 yards.
Yep. That was in Rapids territory.
That's why we keep you around, Dennis.
Yep.
You're here to keep me in line.
Once in a while. That was a 63-second drive. 3 plays, 65 yards.
Not too shabby.
So we've shown Kaminsky can really throw a long ball well.
And that was a beautiful pass there by the junior quarterback, finding John Vanderwall down the far sideline, and he just tiptoed his way. He caught it around the 20-yard line, and there was no one near him. He breezed past the Wisconsin Rapids defense. And now Sun Prairie with a 28-7 lead in their home opener.
Kaminsky with 3 touchdown passes here in the first quarter. Phenomenal games. Phenomenal start here for the senior quarterback. Well, that experience here in the spring really has helped. He has hit the ground running here in the fall season.
You mentioned earlier he split some reps in the spring. Certainly had a good year. 39 of 67, 586 yards and 7 touchdowns in the spring season for Jerry Kaminsky. Now, he's up to 6 touchdowns this year, and it's only week 2. Well, if you're
all three of those were passes on that drive too.
If you're Coach Brian Kaminsky, you've got to be happy with your son's performance and your offense's performance. They've been stellar so far in this one. 4 seconds left in the first quarter. Already lead 28-7.
Doing some quick math here. 147 yards passing in the first quarter with 3 touchdowns.
He scored 48 last week. They're over halfway there through the first quarter. Oh, they do a little pitch there on the kick return, and that'll gain them some yards all the way up to the 28-yard line before he's brought down, and that will do it for the first quarter of action from Sun Prairie. 28-7, the home team on top, the Cardinals of the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders. Not too bad of a first quarter from really either side, Dennis, but especially not from Sun Prairie. 28 points in that first quarter.
Now, Sun Prairie, 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, 1 kickoff return, 3 passes, 3 possessions, 1 score, and 2 3-and-outs for Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. And like the Cardinals' chances, boy, 48 points and now 28. This is going to be a high-powered offense, and we haven't seen a dominant running back yet. The passing attack is so good. It might be a case of running the spread, and this is definitely a pass-first offense.
Yeah, Jerry Kaminsky certainly showing his ability here early in this one. And as mentioned, 3 touchdowns for him through the air. 2 to Davis Hamilton, 1 to John Vanderwall. And a kickoff return touchdown. The opening kickoff of this one was brought back 92 yards by Cortez LeGrand. So quick moving and deadly execution for the Sun Prairie offense thus far.
Yeah, the Cardinals averaged 183 yards passing in the spring season. Threw for 343 last week and already have 147 this week.
Wow. So from their own 29-yard line as we flip the field, Wisconsin Rapids now working from our left to our right, Sun Prairie from our right to our left. Rapids takes over on offense. Caden Sengbush will start under center, a man in his backfield. That's where he'll go with it. It's Leo Brostowicz. He breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles, still on his feet at midfield before being brought down at the 50-yard line. What a powerful, manly run there by Leo Brostowicz.
Talk about ball security. Sun Prairie was literally trying to strip the ball from him as he was spinning, and he would not let go. If you try to tackle instead of trying to strip the ball, I think they could have stopped that play a little bit sooner, but he's proven that he can take care of it. 21 yards on that scamper. So, again, with 4 or 5 returning offensive linemen starters, just a matter of time before Red Raiders were going to get things clicking with that flex bone.
And they certainly have, with Leo Brostowicz really leading the charge. He had a touchdown run in their last drive. Now brings it all the way up to midfield. He'll get it again. Breaks another tackle, Dennis. Past the 40, tripping past the 30. This guy looks like a ballroom dancer the way he maneuvers past defenders.
And he does not shy from contact at all. I love this kid.
Wow, he is an electric running back.
5'9", 185
Only
pounds.
a junior, too.
Yeah.
So he's got another year left of eligibility, if you will, at Lincoln High School up in Wisconsin Rapids. And another first down here from the 30-yard line of Sun Prairie, right on the Cardinal logo. Back to Brostowicz. He'll use the right side this time, sheds a tackle. All the way up to the 24 or 23-yard line, depending on how generous they are on the mark. Just another powerful carry by Leo Brostowicz. We've been blessed to see some really solid running backs here in the first 2 weeks of the high school football season. Last week, Derek Hill of Stoughton. And this week now, Leo Brostowicz of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. Wow.
Hill with 30 carries, 271 yards, 4 touchdowns last week. And this guy looks like he's
on pace to do just that.
Yeah.
He does come off to get a quick breather. So it'll be Philip Ross now in the backfield for the Red Raiders. And a man in motion. Sengbush is just going to keep it himself, go behind his right guard, Hofferman, and fall forward for a nice small gain. Now inside the red zone. Oh, no, they actually marked it backwards. Not a generous mark at the 21. So knock, knock, knocking on Sun Prairie's door. Just over 2 minutes into the second quarter. 9:35 remaining as Wisconsin Rapids looking to answer back on Sun Prairie's end of quarter touchdown. Sengbush under center. Ross in his backfield. Ross will get it, and he'll get swallowed up right away. A really nice tackle there by Nolan Olson, the junior defensive lineman.
And Davis Hamilton on the bottom of the pile.
So Hamilton's got what? 2 touchdowns and now a few tackles to go along with it.
Yeah, love it. One of those guys getting to play both ways.
And if you're doing that at a school like Sun Prairie, you know you're pretty darn good at football.
You bet.
That brings up a 3rd down and 5 to go from the 15-yard line in Sun Prairie's red zone. 4-down territory, down 21 points. Brostowick's back in the mix now for Wisconsin Rapids, and they're really just going to stack the box. Both teams are. But give it to Brostowicks. He'll go off the right side. Inside the 10-yard line. Falls forward and falls down at the 5. And that'll be good enough for a 1st down. Ethan Paulett there on the tackle. Man, oh man. Speed and aggression for Leo Brostowicks. See, he has just another nice carry. They'll actually mark it at the 6-yard line. So 1st and goal, they'll start from the 6. Sengbush under center. Brostowicks in his backfield, a man to each side. And Sun Prairie stacking the box. Back to Brostowicks. He goes left, breaks a tackle, still fighting forward all the way up to the 2-yard line. He cut the A-gap on the left side between Jack Blockheis and center Elias Diaz.
And Davis Hamilton met him right in the hole and got knocked down on his butt right there as Brostowicz just stood him straight up and then cut off to his right and picked up a, should we get here to, looks like
About a gain
2
of 4 there.
Yeah, looks like to the 2-yard line. They just marked it, so 2nd and goal from the 2.
Indeed, 2nd and goal from the 2. Certainly 4-down territory now. They get at least 3 cracks.
64 yards in this drive just for him alone.
Pitch to
Yeah, there it
Brostowicz
is.
on the left side. Will he get in? No, he won't. What some recovery by the Sun Prairie defense there, Dennis. You said there it is, like he was going to get in, but they flew up on him. And now a late flag thrown after the play.
William Davis, a junior defensive back, kind of strung that one out there. And
What are they going to call here? Probably half the distance to the goal. Looks like this will be a penalty on Sun Prairie's defense.
so what? We have a call for a late hit. No.
So that will mark it half the distance to the goal. And I believe that'll give them a fresh set of downs at the 1-yard line.
Yep.
Well, that certainly helps if they can't get in on this one. 1st down and goal from the 1.
Wipes out the play, but you get a yard closer, and now 4 cracks from the 1 if they need them.
Now here's Lincoln from the 1-yard line. Down 21. They certainly need this one here. Handoff.
Quarterback.
Actually, Sengbush keeps it, and Sengbush gets in. They call it a touchdown for Wisconsin Rapids. Lincoln make it 28-13 now as Caden Sengbush brings it in for the 1-yard score.
That was a nice drive. Again, that flex bone can eat up clock. 8 plays, 71 yards, 5 minutes, 9 seconds. And you're early enough in the game that you can afford to be able to run clock like that.
Juneman on for the point after is up, and it is right up the middle. That is good. 28-14 your score now from Sun Prairie as the Cardinals on top in their home opener, but the Red Raiders won't say die. .6:51 left in the second quarter.
On that
Dennis.
drive, it looks like, Brostowicz was able to crack the 100-yard mark. 105 yards here now.
There's still 6:51 remaining in the first half, so excited to see what he can do as this game continues to roll on. But the Red Raiders just won't go away, Dennis. They fell out to an early 21-0 deficit now on a 14-7 run. 14-28 they trail. And Sun Prairie will take back over on offense, this time working from our right to our left.
Yeah, they have not been able to stop Sun Prairie, though. That long 92-yard kickoff return, then a 60-yard drive, then a 41-yard drive, and then 65 on the last play. So Rapids is going to have to get some stops here. The Lincoln Red Raiders defense has got to come through if otherwise they're just chasing points. What's Sun Prairie do with it? It's like basketball. Yeah, we'll keep that 7-8 point lead.
Right.
We score 3, score 3.
Keep it comfortable. Here's the return now for Cortez LeGrant, who had the 92-yard return touchdown earlier. He's got a nice burst of speed there again, all the way up near midfield. Before he's finally brought down, they mark it at the 47-yard line, Dennis. Wow, Cortez LeGrant.
Hey, enjoy it while you can. Nobody's going to be kicking to you in the Big 8.
Yeah,
You're going to be kicking it the other way. As we saw in the previous one, kick it out of bounds. 35 is better than the 50. All right. Well, in this case, the 47 where they start out.
What a real great returner Sun Prairie has this year in Cortez LeGrant, the junior. Another huge return there. Kaminsky will set up in the gun. Walters to his left, and that's where he will go with it. Here's Walters on the carry. Use the right side of his line to fight forward for a gain of about 2 yards.
Sun Prairie run a little time off the clock here, run some plays. Scoring too quick.
So second down, 8 yards to go from the 49-yard line. Kaminsky again in the gun. Kaminsky hands it to Walters. Walters fights past midfield and is taken down at the Wisconsin Rapids 49. 48 make that. That brings up a third down. Your Wisconsin Rapids is a huge play defensively, Dennis.
Yeah, trying to get their first stop of the night. For Sun Prairie, if they can't pick it up, then they're going to have to try to pin them deep.
3rd and 5 from the 48. Out of the gun, Kaminsky once again. Fakes a handoff, drops back, looking right side. He's got a man, but he overthrew him again. It was John Vanderwall who had the big 49-yard touchdown reception on the last drive. Couldn't get it to him that time. Could Jerry Kaminsky, but it looks like they're going to keep the offense out here on 4th down. Dennis up 14.
Why not?
Right at midfield.
Got some faith in that offensive line.
Oh, just kidding. Now they'll trot out the punting unit. Made a late switch on us there.
Offensive line for Sun Prairie averages 6'4", 258. Evan Melkor, the left tackle, All-State in the spring. 3-year starter.
What do you think about a fake here, Dennis?
I don't know if they want to show that this early in the season.
Nope, they will punt it away. Punt is up, and it's a good one. Bounces at the 20-yard line. It will go out of bounds at about the 16. Really nice punt there by Trenton Wagner, the senior punter. But Wisconsin Rapids comes up with their first stop of the night. Down 14. They're going to get an opportunity to claw right back into this one. Or should I say, Red Raiders. My best Chris Berman.
Oh, your best Jesse Nelson. Aye.
28-14 your score. 5:25 left in the first half. Wisconsin Rapids, though, getting right back in this thing. Behind the heavy runner, Leo Brostowicz, the junior running back, 5'9", 185. He's got a touchdown in the night, and as Dennis mentioned just a bit earlier, over 100 yards from scrimmage already.
Well, they went 71 yards in 5:09. They got to go 83 yards in 5:25 here to get on the board.
And there's a handoff on first down. Good for a gain of about 4 yards. And it's Philip Ross on the carry.
Yeah, we saw him break a big one earlier. And this one, looks like about 3.
Gain of 4 they're going to give him, it looks like, as we're under the 5-minute mark here in the first half. The way this stadium glows as the sun has disappeared from us, Dennis, is just amazing. What a beautiful field this is. As Sangbush airs it out right up the middle. And I thought maybe you'd get a pass interference call there, but no flags thrown, so that brings up.
Yeah, Brady Shanahan and who else was it? Michael McMillan, defensive backs, double coverage there on the play.
Brings up a 3rd down and 6 from the 21-yard line. First down marker at the 27. Got a ways to go. Ross comes out as Caden Senbush runs back in with the play call from the sideline from Coach Biolo.
After 2 3-and-outs, 2 touchdown drives for Rapids, so Sun Prairie would like to get a 3-and-out here.
Well, here's their chance. 3rd down. Sangbush dropping back. Ostranga put on some heavy pressure on him, and Sangbush threw that ball up. It was actually in the area of his left tackle, Mitch Blockheis, but not an eligible receiver. Didn't even turn around and see it was floating behind him. He was just going for the downfield block. So that brings up 4th down. Wisconsin Rapids will punt it away with 4:41 remaining. Took just about 30 seconds off the clock there. That's it.
And we like to call that is a quarterback hurry right there. That is a new stat, and great job. Yeah, under a half a minute on this drive. So Sun Prairie did what it needed to do. Now Rapids needs, if they want to flip the field, they need a big kick here.
And they'll certainly get the opportunity. The punt from Schooley is up and away, and it'll be returned from the 46-yard line. Brought down at midfield. On the return is Brady Shanahan.
33 yards on that punt.
So let's take over right at midfield. The marker right at the 50-yard line. Up 2 scores, looking to extend their lead as Wisconsin Rapids does get the second half kickoff.
Sun Prairie, it'd be nice to punch a little breathing room here going into halftime.
Kaminsky out of the gun. Walters back there with him. He'll fake a handoff, drops back. He's got pressure. Oh, and he eludes it. Rolling left, fakes a pass. Now he's still running out of bounds past the 40-yard line, and a late flag throw.
That's what I've been waiting to see. He can beat you with the legs, and that's the first time we've been able to see him elude the pressure and make something out of nothing here. Great play, and a nice little pump fake there to try to freeze the defense, and brings it all the way out to inside the 40 here.
Got to say, Dennis, Jerry Kaminsky really showing his pro ability, only a junior.
Like it. Been up working with the varsity since his freshman year, 3-sport athlete like we talked about. Dad's the head coach, and he's gotten some pretty good tutelage here, and he's putting that all to good use.
So a late flag thrown, as mentioned. It's going to go against Wisconsin Rapids, so that'll move the ball even further.
Looked like he made it up to 36, which would be a 14-yard run, which wouldn't be good enough for a first down. And they're going to mark it there from the 36. And this must be a personal foul. Oh. I like he's trying to mark it off, and there's guys in his way.
Yep.
Can he count? Okay, let's see if he can count. If it's 15 yards, it goes to the 21.
And he does know how to count, Dennis. Look at that. They've got a pro official on the field tonight.
How many times I've seen this at the college level, too. No, it's not 13 or 14. It's 15. And then another official will kind of edge it forward. The players don't want to touch the ball in that case, but here we go. First and 10 now on the 21.
Well, certainly a good spot to be if you're the Cardinals. Here's Kaminsky, waiting, eluding, rolling left. He's going to take it himself again. Spin move at the 20-yard line. Takes a hard hit from behind, but that pushes him forward all the way up to the 16. And he pops up happy as heck.
But that spin move kept him from getting drilled by the linebacker there. So nice awareness of presence on the field.
Jerry Kaminsky been very impressive here tonight, the junior quarterback of the Sun Prairie Cardinals.
That's going to be fun watching him play for 2 years here, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you got another year left of Kaminsky.
Well, actually, no, he's a senior. I'm thinking junior. He's a senior now this fall. right? No, he's a junior.
He's a junior.
I'm sorry. This whole thing with the spring football
is really throwing you off.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
The sophomore and the spring.
Well, yeah, and it's the colleges have the COVID years.
There's a pass right up the middle from Kaminsky. He threw that thing in there on a dime. Looked like he had it on a rope as he connects with his wideout Connor Stoff.
Jackson Schooley, number 3 and 32, was that Rucker. Oh, that was right between them. I thought it was going to get picked off.
I'll tell you what, Dennis, this Sun Prairie offense is going to have a lot of nice pieces again next year. Jerry Kaminsky, the junior, connects with Connor Stoff, the sophomore wideout. Cortez LeGrant, their kick returner who had the touchdown, he's a junior. Colton Walters, their starting running back, he's a junior. So a lot of nice pieces here for the 2022 season, as well, assuming they don't transfer to Sun Prairie West.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting, a little wrinkle to keep an eye on for next year as we have another Recover 180 timeout. Reset, recharge, and recover with Recover 180. This is week 2 high school football action on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. Alex Strofe alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. Zimbrick Honda for over 50 years has provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles. The trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches you. If you're looking for a new or used Honda, I can't recommend the folks at Zimbrick Honda in Madison enough. Head to their location in Madison or ZimbrickHonda.com to search current inventory. So first and goal now from the 8-yard line of Wisconsin Rapids for the Sun Prairie Cardinals.
Well, I do know who gets Kaminsky, the quarterback, next year. Sun Prairie East. They're on the east side.
They get to keep him, and so does his
Father
dad, the head
and
coach.
son.
Yeah.
Father and son will be together.
They'll
of
keep
course.
the Kaminsky duo. Here's the handoff to Walters. He's going to go. There was no one near him. He trotted that thing right in for a score. Colton Walters on the 8-yard carry with 3:17 remaining makes this a 20-point ball game, 34-14.
Yeah, punched in his first, actually his third now touchdown. He had 2 last week, 1 in the spring, and a first rushing touchdown of the evening for Sun Prairie.
Yeah, everything's been through the air, and then as we've mentioned a few times, the opening kickoff was brought back for a score. So that's the first rushing touchdown of the night for Sun Prairie. They had 130 yards on the ground last week at a win over Hudson as the point after from Schulz is up and good. Make it 35-14. The lead is back to 21.
And 5 plays 50 yards now. Offense, they've had 5 possessions, 6 possessions, 5 scores.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Sun Prairie offense has been feasting, and you can do the same at Pizza Pit. For over 50 years, Pizza Pit has been delivering fast, fresh, and hot pizza. But as Dennis will tell you best, Pizza Pit isn't just pizza. They've got wings, cheesy breadsticks, gyros, and what's your favorite, Dennis?
Oh, the meatball sub.
The meatball sub. They've got all sorts of stuff at Pizza Pit, and they've got all sorts of locations, 8 of them, across the Madison area. And it's even easier to order on the Pizza Pit app, which you can download wherever you get your apps on your mobile devices. Pizza Pit. Don't forget the cookies or the ice cream. Sun Prairie back up to a 21-point lead, 35-14 the score. Each team with a timeout to spare here in this first half, which has 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. We're live here on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania at the beautiful Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. Dennis, would you argue this is the best high school football stadium in the state?
Yeah, I like Warrior Stadium for Wanakee is a good place, but it's not a bowl. It doesn't have the seating that this does. This is, well, I haven't been all over the state, but I'd be hard-pressed to find one. Yeah, some schools use the the WEAC fields too. But
so you say WEAC. We had this debate today in the ESPN Madison office. I say it's WIAC, you say it's WEAC. You're a fake reverse that time on the kick return. Go ahead, Dennis.
I'm used to the WSUC.
Did they call that the "we suck" by chance? That's an unfortunate acronym.
Yeah, back in the old days, and it was the WWIAC, Wisconsin Women's Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. And when they merged the men's and women's together, they came up with the WIAC.
Gotcha. Well, I like to call it the WIAC.
Okay,
You
well,
can
that's
tweet
the
us at
WIAC,
Dennis
yeah.
Zimbrick.
I don't know that. I never thought about it that way.
I
Whatever
tweeted about
felt like
that today, Dennis. So we
Walters.
can have some more people chime in on it. Will you say
Oh,
WIAC or WIAC
WIAC.
when you're
I'm just
talking about
fine, too.
the Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference?
See
But
what we're
back to
supposed-
high school football now as their backup quarterback once again back in the game here, Dennis, for Lincoln. That's number 12, Teal Lucas. He did hand it off there, but not a huge gain to be had there for Leo Brostowicz as he's up to the 25. So actually a nice gain of about 4
4
yards.
yards. Yeah, I'll take that one on first down. And just under 3 minutes to go here in the first half, so plenty of time in this flex ball to move the ball down the field and try to put one up on there. But 49 points. I don't know if I would have taken 50 for the over on this one tonight coming in.
Well, it's looking like it is. They're only a point away from
Well, we had a 59-40 game in the spring, so.
Brostowicz, the fake from Teal Lucas, who's still in the game for Rapids, and he'll take it himself forward. Does he get the first down? Because he was just about there, and they are going to give it to him. Because he got it right up to the marker. So fresh set of downs now for the Red Raiders as Teal Lucas remains in the game at quarterback. Looks like Rapids going to try something new here on this drive. So Teal Lucas, the junior quarterback, 5'11", 170, stays in the game. Diamond formation, handoff to Brostowicz, but this play is
We got a
whistled
flag.
dead.
Yep, I think we got motion here. When we were, Jesse and I were here for the Verona game in the spring, they actually had the officials mic'd up for that game.
And it doesn't seem like they do, but we also don't have the windows open, so maybe we just can't hear them.
And 36. So, offsides.
So they will actually gain some yards there, Dennis, all the way up to the 36-yard line. A rare 1st and 5 now for the Rapids offense. Teal Lucas lines up under center, diamond formation, one man to his right. He'll hand it off to Brostowicz. Brostowicz bounces off a tackle, hurdles another, breaks another, past midfield, and is driven into the turf at the 44-yard line of Sun Prairie. Another ridiculous carry by Leo Brostowicz, the junior running back.
He just keeps pounding away there.
He's the gift that keeps on giving for this Wisconsin Rapids offense.
Yeah, well, I was kind of wondering after those first 2 drives, but ever since then, it's like they lit a fire under him and that offensive line. He gets just a little bit of a crease. It's all he needs. And good pad level, and he just keeps pumping those legs.
And now they keep grinding. A fake handoff. Lucas throws it up, batted away. Nice defensive play there for the Cardinals. Michael McMillan was there in coverage. Got one hand on it, but it would have been better than the Odell Beckham catch from a few years back if he could have snagged that one. So a second down now from the 45-yard line of Sun Prairie. As Wisconsin Rapids trying to stay in this thing. 1:19 remaining in this first half, down 21. 35-14 your score. The home team on top. Both teams have been impressive, but Sun Prairie's been almost perfect. No turnovers yet in this game.
That's, yeah, they're going 3 and out. I mean, Rapids.
Teal Lucas just ran into his own running back, but it actually gave him a nice shove forward as he gets past the 40-yard line up to about the 37.
Hello, wait a minute. You're on my team. Kinda, so, a 3rd down. And
I think we're going to see a
I think we got about 3rd and 3 on this one now. It's a nice recovery from the hit in the backfield.
up to the 38-yard line.
Clock still ticking. Both teams with 1 timeout left. Here's where you want to save those timeouts for.
45 seconds to go in this first quarter as Teal Lucas lines up under center. Fakes the handoff, going to take it himself, and he is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. A great tackle again. Davis Hamilton, who's making a real good case for our player of the game, Dennis.
And Addison Ostrenga right there with him.
Ostrenga, next week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
And 4th and 4, so actually lost a yard on that play.
And the clock
Tackle
continues
for
to
4.
run, 15 seconds. I'll be surprised if they just don't let this thing run out, as Tia Lucas over on the sideline getting the orders. And I think they're just going to let the clock run. Oh, no, they'll actually burn a timeout here, Dennis. A recover 180 timeout. Reset, recharge, and recover. With recover 180, 5 seconds left in the second quarter. And that gives me about 30 seconds to tell you about the brand new, all redesigned mobile banking at UW Credit Union. UW Credit Union's online and mobile banking goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. Explore innovative and intuitive ways to manage your money anytime, anywhere. UW Credit Union's in-house team of engineers and developers create digital banking solutions that are designed just for you. Learn more about UW Credit Union and UW Credit Union mobile banking at uwcu.org. A big thanks to UW Credit Union supporting student-athletes across our great area, Dennis. Each week we get to take a look at a student-athlete in the area with a deeper lens for the UW Credit Union Student-Athlete of the Week. You'll hear that feature tomorrow with Jackson Trudgeon of Madison Edgewood High School. Talked to Jackson about a week and a half ago now. Great kid, and really excited for Edgewood to play their first home game in 26 years tomorrow.
And Jackson, another one of those fine 3-sport athletes. And here we go. Not sure. This tells you the confidence they have in the kicker here.
This will
They
be
didn't try to,
exactly. This will be the last play of the first half as Lucas gets it off to Brostowicz. Brostowicz breaks a tackle. He'll get past the first down marker, but not before time expires. So your score at the half: Sun Prairie 35, Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln 14. A 21-point lead for the home team Cardinals here in their home opener. And Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln will receive the second half kickoff. Dennis, a fun first half. Some damage on the ground, but for Sun Prairie, it was mainly damage via pass. Three receiving touchdowns for Sun Prairie. A kick return touchdown as well as a rushing touchdown, their most recent one here in the first half. 34-14 at the break. So as the teams head to their locker rooms, we'll take a break alongside with them. You're locked into Wisconsin On Demand and Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. We'll come back here in about 10 minutes. We'll recap what happened in the first half. We'll preview what's to come in the second half and take a look at who's doing damage for the Cardinals and the Red Raiders. He's Dennis Semra. I'm Alex Stroh. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania on Wisconsin On Demand. Welcome you back to Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field in Sun Prairie for this Week 2 WIAA High School football matchup between the visiting Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln Red Raiders and the home team, the Sun Prairie Cardinals, who hold a 35-14 lead after one half of play. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, streaming exclusively tonight on WisconsinOnDemand.com, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and after the game you can find the full game wherever you get your podcast. Just search Prep Mania. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review while you're there as well. He's the Dean, Dennis Semrau. I'm Alex Strofe, hanging out in this nicely chilled press box. We stepped outside to take a look at the crowd, mingled, do all the in-betweens. And, Dennis, what do you think? About a 25-degree difference between inside the press box and outside?
Yeah, it's Sauna City outside. I'm glad we're in here. This is nice. We're going to get spoiled. I mean, I was just asked by one of the Sun Prairie guys, so what do you think? And I go, I've already dubbed this place University of Wisconsin at Sun Prairie. And this is the phenomenal facility, the scoreboard, the fans. Probably could use a few more concession stands. That's
my one complaint. I wanted to get a bag of some sort of candy, and I wasn't going to make it back in time to broadcast the second half. So I had to forego the candy, had to forego the sweet tooth.
The sugar rush, yeah.
Yeah, we'll live. We will fight on here. I'll power through without the sugar kick at halftime. But Dennis, a 35-14 lead for the Sun Prairie Cardinals as we get ready for second half action. A really, really, really nice start for the Cardinals here in their home opener.
Yeah, Sun Prairie went off. You look in that first quarter, and they were able to score 28 points, only 7 in the second quarter. Well, they only had 2 possessions.
Right.
One was a 3-and-out, and one was a 50-yard drive that was helped by a 15-yard personal foul penalty. So in the first quarter, Jerry Kaminsky, the quarterback, 3 touchdowns, 147 yards, had only 1 completion for 9 yards, but didn't need it. They rushed one in. So as long as you're putting points up on the board, Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln was finally able to get something going on their third drive, and they've been pretty consistent there. We have not had a turnover in the game yet, which is very good for week number 2. I hope I didn't jinx us, and we have little fumbles in the second half, but we've had a touchdown by rush, pass, and a kickoff return. So waiting to see what's next up there. Just a great job for the Sun Prairie offense. Anytime you can open the game with a kickoff return. Mount Horeb-Barneville last week when they beat Racine St. Kate's, there were, I think, 4 returns, and Mount Horeb-Barneville had opened the game with a kickoff return for a touchdown. So, if you want to get a win, there's no better way to start than your special teams put points up on the board.
Well, you mentioned it, Dennis. The Red Raiders of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln really aren't going away, though. They were down 21-0 in that first quarter and, outscored Sun Prairie there for just a moment, 14-7, made it 28-14. And, of course, Sun Prairie with an 8-yard touchdown near the end of the half there by running back Colton Walters to regain the lead at 21 points, 35-14. Rapids will start with the ball here, though, in the second half, which is just under 10 seconds away. And, you mentioned it pregame. I'll ask you again. Coach Biolo of Wisconsin Rapids said they cannot afford any turnovers today. They've done that so far, and they're still in it, but they certainly need to get going here in the second half, down 21.
Yeah, they did. The one thing I wondered about was the kicking game. Well, they had a chance to drive, maybe to get into field goal range at the end, and didn't do it. That tells you something about the confidence in your kicker. On the other side, though, for Sun Prairie, if this comes down to one at the end, Trevor Schultz is, he's put 5 extra points so far. He's put 3 kickoffs into the end zone, and his range is about 45. He had 2 45-yarders in pregame and hit the crossbar on a 50-yarder up at Hudson. Did not attempt one in the game, but he's got that range. Again, we talked in pregame about Sun Prairie's always had good kicking games, good special teams. Again, the good programs usually do, like Awanakey's got an outstanding kicker in their program as well.
Well, here we go. Things getting set up for the second half. Like I mentioned, Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln will receive the second half kick. They'll work from our left to our right. Sun Prairie in the red jerseys, red pants, black helmets will work from our right to our left. Trevor Schultz on to kick it away for the leading Cardinals. 35-14 your score as they break the huddle and we get ready to go from Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium for the second half here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, presented by ESPN Madison, and tonight exclusively on Wisconsin on demand. Scholl's kick up and away we go here in the second half. As that one will once again bounce out of the end zone. He's got a knack for doing that here tonight. All of his kickoffs just about have gone out of the end zone.
That's his fourth, so that's 4 times now Rapids has had a start on the 20. And when you look at their scoring drives, they were able to start on the 29, and one of them was on the 20-yard line. That was their third possession of the game. But to make a high school team go 80 yards is very difficult for their offense.
No doubt about it. Wisconsin Rapids going back to Caden Sengbush at quarterback now, as they were trying out backup Teal Lucas there at the end of that first half. But Sengbush back in it. Diamond formation, one man to his left. One man in motion now for Rapids. Handoff is to Leo Brostovic, who fights forward for a nice gain of about 11 yards there, and that'll be a fresh set of downs right out of the gates, and that's exactly what they need if they want to get some momentum rolling here, Dennis.
Yes, quick hitter right there, and as we saw throughout the end of the first half in particular, Brostovic is a beast. He's something to be reckoned with.
Set him up, knock him down, and that's what Brostovic has been doing so far in this game. First down and 10 yards to go from their own 32-yard line. Caden Sengbush lines up under center. Again, a diamond formation, one man to his right now. Haven't done a ton of throwing the ball, only threw 5 passes in total last week. Handoff there again goes the direction of Brostovic, and he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, brings up 2nd and 10.
I have not seen Isaac Ham, number 24, out on the field tonight. Have you at all?
I don't believe I have, which is interesting. One of
No.
the top recruits in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, I've tried to scan the sidelines here to see the numbers. The guys are stacked up, so you don't know.
24, he is not in pads. He's right here at the 40-yard line, Dennis, next to a coach.
Okay.
So no Isaac Ham in the game tonight for Sun Prairie. Here's the 2nd and 10 now for Rapids. Handoff again, this time to Brostovic again, I believe, yes, as he's down at the 35 after a gain of about 3 yards. Brings up 3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line. Right at the middle of the Wolf, the, again, non-existent Wolf yet, the Sun Prairie West High School will open for the fall of 2022, and this will be their home field, assuming they have a football program in year one. The expectation is they will.
Yeah, they better, because they're supposed to be in the Badger Large next year, both East and West. And if you look at the schedules, Sun Prairie is being referred to as Sun Prairie East this year in everybody's schedule.
I formation there, the handoff again to Brostovic, who, Dennis, falls forward. That's what we like to see out of running backs, especially when you're a workhorse like Leo Brostovic has been tonight.
Yeah, Brady Shanahan, what is it, number 12, their defensive back, Shanahan, rather, just put his helmet down right in the stomach, and he just rolled over on top of Shanahan. That had to hurt.
No doubt about it.
But he stuck his nose right in it to try to make a tackle, and they still end up with 6 yards on the play. And
4th down and
1.
Inches to go. It's not even a full yard that they need to go, but they're going to go for it from their own 41-yard line, Dennis. Big play here for the Red Raiders. Had to jump on defense.
Got it.
And he did get it. Sengbush took him himself. A quarterback keeper just dove forward and got about 3 yards up to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, down by 3 scores here in the
you got to go for it there.
Yeah, anything close, you're going to go for it. You don't want to have, unless it's a 4th and 45 or something, or you're deep in your own territory, you're going to have to try to keep those chains moving.
First down from the 44-yard line. Knocking on midfield territory. Here are the Red Raiders of Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. 8:50 to go in this third quarter. Sengbush lines up under center. An offset I formation and a man to his left. Handoff to number 8, the workhorse Brostovic. And he's going to fight forward all the way up to midfield. I think they'll mark it right at the 50. No, right at the 40, their own 49. Didn't quite get past midfield there, Dennis, but certainly right on the cusp, as they are not letting this early opportunity slip here in the second half.
Yeah, I don't think he has any favorites. He's got 4 veteran linemen, and I think he likes running behind the Blockheist brothers there, Mitch, left tackle, and Jack, left guard. But he's getting some key blocks everywhere, including Diaz at 270-pound sophomore center.
Wow. Fake handoff. Sengbush going to take it himself. He'll go left of his line and fights for some extra yardage on the play. He had a little shoelace tackle, but again, falls forward, gains an extra yard or two out of that, and he's up to the 43-yard line of Sun Prairie.
And another first down. Key to defending this flex bone is to play assignment football. You're going to give up a couple yards here and there, but just don't let them get the big one. And we haven't seen a pass for quite a while, as far as trying to air one out.
Committing to the run game. It's worked so far, though, so can't really knock the hustle there.
No, but eventually they're going to try to pop one deep.
Singbush under center.
Yep.
Takes the handoff. Here's your call. Throw downfield and way over the head of the intended receiver, Connor Boobles, who has one of the few receptions for Wisconsin Rapids tonight.
Just got a feeling that you got to test it with putting 7-8 guys in the box that you can see if you can get one-on-one coverage deep.
You've been around the game almost 4 decades, Dennis. When you have a hunch, I trust it.
Well, growing up watching the Packers, 3rd and 1, going for the bomb. Green Bay, yes.
Sounds like Brett Favre out there.
I love, the gunslinger. I know he threw a ton of interceptions, but you gotta love the go for it attitude, right? Especially when you hit that big one.
I know that's Jesse Nelson's favorite Packer of all time, number 4, the gunslinger. There's another handoff to Brostovich, and he just fights forward, man. It's hard to explain, it's a good thing you're watching via video stream tonight because he is just powerful. He powers his way forward through that opposite defensive line, and he does it again there on 2nd down, a nice gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, Talib Miller, number 55 there, the big young man there, just kind of got on his back, and he carried him. Now we're inside, right by the Cardinal logo. Hey.
Flipping logos now all of a sudden. Singbush again under center. Takes the snap, fakes a pitch, passes out, tipped away and intercepted. Addison Ostranga comes up with it. Off a deflection, dove to the ground, and reeled in by the Iowa commit, Addison Ostranga.
There's the first turnover of the game, and a big one there for Ostranga, a playmaker on both sides of the ball.
My goodness. A big body, too. He really got down in the dirt and reeled that one in. 6'5", 225, the senior wide receiver and linebacker, the Iowa commit.
He was pretty impressive when we brought him in our studio a couple weeks ago.
Much bigger than me. I'm 6'3". I'm not often looking up to people, but I was with Addison Ostranga.
Yes, you were. I agree with that.
And now another big play from the first play from scrimmage for Sun Prairie all the way to the house.
On, baby. He's
Cortez LeGrand again, just showing that absolute burst of adrenaline and speed, takes it all the way to the house. His 2nd touchdown of the night, first on offense.
That was from the 49, 51 yards.
51-yard carry.
We had
Cortez LeGrand busts this game wide open, makes it 41-14.
That's 4 plays, 92, 55, 49, and 51. Don't start calling these the big play Cardinals here.
Big time run. Now a little conversation between the referees at midfield. I think they're taking this one back, Dennis.
Oh, no. Come on. He was down the sidelines untouched. I didn't see any blocks.
Is there an early holding call potentially? They're having quite the conference before they really signal what happened.
That's a killer right there. Put it up to 42-14.
What's the call here? Personal foul on Sun Prairie. So that 51-yarder will not count.
And a penalty against Wisconsin Rapids. So there's some offsetting penalties.
So we'll just replay it down.
Oh,
Cortez LeGrand probably doesn't like that call at all.
Beautiful run, 51 yards.
Maybe history can repeat itself here because Cortez LeGrand staying on the field. But they're going to move, well, they won't move it. They'll just replay the down. First down from the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. Oh, that's a killer, man. Cortez LeGrand just dashed 51 yards in about 2 seconds flat.
Impressive performance for him tonight. And I think you mentioned another one of those guys, underclassmen, will be back next year.
Yeah, Sun Prairie. A lot of playmakers. They go back to LeGrand here. Take it right up the gut and bring it up to the opposite 45-yard line. A gain of 6. Not quite a gain of 6, 51.
But we'll take that good play call. First one 6, so second and short.
Second down, 5 yards to go here. LeGrand the back in the backfield. But Kaminsky going to drop back and pass it. He's got Ostrenga, and he's got a bunch of blockers. He's got the left sideline. It's a foot race now into the 10-yard line where he's finally brought down the Iowa commit, Addison Ostrenga, well into the red zone of Wisconsin Rapids.
Excellent pass play. Nice touch on the little screen pass there. We call that a tight end screen. Wide receiver screen? Or is he
wide receiver screen?
He'll go with that with their spread offense.
35-14 remains the score. They give it back to Cortez LeGrand. Make it 41-14 as he gets his touchdown back there. Cortez LeGrand on a 10-yard trot, 8-yard trot.
I think that the ball marked at they had it marked at the 10, I believe.
So then a 10-yard dash there for Cortez LeGrand makes it 41-14.
I'll take it, he said.
And you're right. Not as good as 51, but he'll still take the points and the yards on the score sheet. Trevor Scholes on to attempt to point out.
Still put that one in his tape. You don't have to see the flags. You didn't see a flag on the play. Just see what I did. Hey, wait a minute. Wasn't that one called back?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, all right.
Trevor Scholes on to attempt the extra point after the 10-yard touchdown run by Cortez LeGrand. That one's up, and it is good. He remains perfect on the night, as Sun Prairie takes a 42-14 lead here in their home opener. My, oh my, it's been a fun one to watch thus far. Reset, recharge, and recover with Recover 180. Recover 180 is the premium functional hydration solution for everyone who lives life on the go, like Cortez LeGrand. He certainly lives life on the go, as we just saw on display that drive. On the field, in the gym, or at the office, Recover 180 is the drink that will keep you feeling in tip-top condition. Only 60 calories and 3 times more electrolytes than other leading sports drinks. Recover 180 improves energy, reduces stress, and offers rapid relief and recovery from dehydration. Before, during, or after a workout, Recover 180 will take your recovery to a whole new level. Recover 180. Reset, recharge, recover. 42-14 your score. 5:41 remaining in the third quarter as Sun Prairie with a monster 28-point lead.
Well, it wasn't the one play for a touchdown, but still 3 plays, 51 yards in 46 seconds. Again, big play, Cardinals, and helped by that 35-yard screen pass to Ostrenga. Cardinals got to love playing on this field. I think they've scored a ton of points on you since they started in the spring.
Yeah, Sun Prairie up to 90 points in 2 weeks, Dennis. 90 points scored in 2 weeks.
And they've given up 21.
Not too shabby.
Nope, we'll take that.
And again, guess what? Trevor Scholl's kick will go into the end zone and will not be returned. So now they will set up shop, the Red Raiders will, at their own 20-yard line.
5 kickoffs.
5 touchbacks.
Touchbacks, and he's got 6 extra points. As I said, kicker's going to be tired tonight. What did you do? Well, that's a lot of work.
I was
a lot of running up and down the field.
Sweeping the leg a few times tonight, getting that workout in. So the Rapids Red Raiders will look to go to work here as they are trailing by 28 points. They also made another quarterback switch here, Dennis, as Teal Lucas back in the game.
Well, also, this is big series here. One more touchdown. We have a running clock.
Brostovich gets the handoff there and brings it up for a gain of about 8 yards there on the first play from scrimmage on this drive. Make it 2nd and 2 from the 28. He's really been putting in work, has Leo Brostovich.
Yeah, he's had his outstanding night. That's the one positive you can look from the first 2 weeks. Their running game, they're going to have shore some things up on the defensive
Alive
side.
and well in Wisconsin Rapids, that running game. Teal Lucas, the quarterback now. Caden Sengbush stays on the sidelines this drive. Snap to Lucas, handed off, and falls forward for a gain of about 1 yard. Going to be short of the first down marker is Philip Ross, the running back.
So 3rd and 1 here. And another big play here to keep the chains moving. Sun Prairie wants to get another 3 and out here.
No doubt about it.
It'll be the first one of the second half. After that long drive to open the quarter for Rapids, unfortunately ended in interception.
4 minutes, 35 seconds left as Lucas takes the snap and takes the ball way to the far sideline in front of his own bench, and he actually lost a yard or two there. So that'll bring up 4th down, Dennis, as got a player down on the field.
Shanahan and McMillan again, that 1-2 punch in the defensive backfield, snuffed that one out and did not give him anywhere room to run. That was one just head for the sidelines. You're going to get hit.
Trenton Wagner, the down Cardinal, also their punter, so certainly something you do not want to see.
And this is not a place where you want to, well, 4th they lost. It looks like 2 yards on a loss on that play.
So brings up a 4th and 3, Dennis, and you're at your own 27-yard line. I imagine you certainly don't want to go for it, but you might be at a point where you have to.
You know, one more score, you got the running clock, and then you know how fast the game goes when that happens. So, I'm impressed with Sun Prairie. What do you think?
I'm very impressed with Sun Prairie. Certainly a team, a force to be reckoned with in this area, Dennis. You mentioned it. 48 points in a win at Hudson last week, now up to 42 this week. 90 points in 2 weeks. I imagine that has to be among the best in the state, if not the best in the state.
They averaged 25.8 in the spring, gave up 11 per game in the spring. But mention that 55 points in the first quarter in the spring, and they scored 28 tonight. So getting off to a great start. Again, the kickoff return helps, but just a very good show offensively. No mistakes. Very few negative yardage plays. And Kaminsky's got a slew of receivers to throw to. And the running game we've only seen just it's barely scratched the surface.
Well, good news. Trenton Wagner, the down Cardinal, walking off under his own power. So that is great to see as he was tended to on the field. But we'll get back to the action, the third quarter. 4:23 remains, and it is 4th and 3 for Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. Interested to see who they bring out here. Sengbush, the starting quarterback, Caden Sengbush, back out. But he will not be lining up as a quarterback. He will be lining up as an extra tool behind the long snapper. Jackson Schooley, the punter, on, and he's going to fake it. We've got a fake. Rolling right. Thrown, tipped, almost intercepted again by Addison Ostrenga as he was there in coverage. So Sun Prairie, Dennis, will take over on their on the 27-yard line of Lincoln. They are 7 yards away from the red zone, up 28 points.
And 27 yards away from a running clock. But, of course, how many times have we seen a missed extra point? Right?
That's accurate, right?
You get so close, and then and you feel for the sub players that reserves that don't get a lot of chance to get in. The running clock really ruins it there. But on the other hand, if teams getting blown out, you don't want to see anybody get hurt either.
4 minutes, 18 seconds left in the third quarter as the snap to Kaminsky is handed off and brought up for a solid gain of about 4 yards all the way to the 24-yard line. Maybe only 3 on that gain, excuse me.
Walters on a carry.
It was Colton Walters, the starting running back.
So, yeah, gain of 3 there. Nice. Now you just want to run clock here. Just run. Don't have to be tricky. Just run some time off the clock. And keep possessions.
They will do just that. 3:46 and counting as they get the play call from the sideline.
Take your time.
Might as well. Head coach Brian Kaminsky saying, slow this down a little bit. Now we'll get a motion, we'll get a whistle, and we will get a recover 180 timeout. Reset, recharge, recover. With recover 180. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, Wisconsin On Demand. Zimbrick Honda for nearly 50 years has provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles. Trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches your style. If you're looking for a new or used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda in Madison or head to ZimbrickHonda.com to search current inventory. Zimbrick Honda, providing the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles. 42-14 your score. 3 minutes, 33 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That's 4 threes.
Threes are wild. Threes are wild. Good poker hand.
Good poker hand indeed. So from the 24-yard line is where Sun Prairie will go back to work. A 2nd and 7. Knocking on Red Raiders red zone.
Yep. Kaminsky's saying, I want you over here.
Yeah, Walters in the backfield with Kaminsky, a man in motion for the Cardinals. It's William Davis, but Kaminsky going to take it himself up the left side into the red zone. He takes a hard hit but doesn't go down until the 15-yard line.
Takes a licking but keeps on ticking. There you go.
There we go. I like that, Dennis. Look at you with the rhymes. That's good for a first down. Well, maybe it's not, depending on where they mark this. It should be good for a first down as the marker's at the 17, and the ball was at the 15. But a flag on the play, that's what it is. My view was blocked by a Sun Prairie helmet. We'll see what the call is.
Group meeting.
And some rehydration going on the Sun Prairie sideline as they congregate at midfield.
Up, inadvertent flag. I love it. Yeah,
they waved it off.
Waved it off. Inadvertent.
So it will be good for a first down then for Sun Prairie at the 15-yard line.
He didn't mean it. Take it away. Nice scrambles. I like Kaminsky's footwork tonight. He spins away so he doesn't get too many of those. You know, quarterback, you don't want those head-on hits.
No, you don't.
But we do. You got to show a little toughness, and he did on finishing that run
and
off.
Good agility shown by Jerry Kaminsky tonight as well. So fresh set of downs from the 15, now inside the red zone. Snap to Kaminsky. Handoff to Walters. Walters breaks a tackle, goes over a man inside the 10-yard line and up to the 7 or 6-yard line, depending on the spot.
5'9", 180-pound junior. He looks like he's going to be a big part of the offense here again this year. Had a pretty good spring, averaging just under 4 yards a carry.
Here we go. Looking for a running clock. Under 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Snap to Kaminsky. Thrown to the corner of the end zone. Intended for a string of flag flies. That's going to be defensive pass interference. So they'll probably get the ball right on the goal line. Will Sun Prairie, Dennis.
Yep, and be 4 cracks there. And
I'm just saying, if I had to cover Addison Ostrenga, I'd be called for pass interference too. It can't be an easy task to cover him. 6'5".
That's pretty good. You got a 6'2" quarterback thrown to a 6'5" wide receiver.
Yeah, at the high school level, that's not too shabby, is it?
No, that's a very good size. And
we'll actually mark it at the 3-yard line.
Half the distance to the goal.
Sure.
And first and goal.
Snap to Kaminsky. Handoff to Walters. He's swallowed up at the 5-yard line. Under the 2.5-minute mark now in the third quarter as we approach the fourth.
A little credit to this offensive line for Sun Prairie tonight. Left tackle Evan Malcor, left guard Corey Sammer, center Jackson Johnson, Jack Larson, the right guard, and Logan Gross, the right tackle. Averaging almost 260 pounds.
Oh,
pretty formidable.
Kaminsky just thread a needle to the right side of the end zone, but couldn't quite come up with it. Was Connor Stoff. Oh, what a pass there. That was an absolute bullet.
So 3rd and goal here from the 4. He hasn't been perfect back there at quarterback, but he's made the big plays when he's had to, and now here's the challenge here. You got it in the red zone on the 4-yard line. You want to punch it in here.
No doubt about it.
Well, if they don't, we see a kicker. Give
Tack on 3 rather than 7?
Give Scholes a chance to get some work in.
I would not be shocked if that's the route they go here. Up 28. Here's the snap to Kaminsky. Kaminsky throwing right side. It's caught inside the 5. A nice move made. Still on his feet up to the 1-yard line, but brought down is John Vanderwall, who had a touchdown earlier tonight.
Good work on Vanderwall there. He 2 catches for 23 yards in the first game. Another good weapon there to use for Kaminsky.
They're going to keep the offense out there.
Yeah, you got to go for it on 4th and goal from the 1.
No doubt about it. Snap to Kaminsky. He's going to take it himself, and he's in for the touchdown. Jerry Kaminsky. He's been doing it through the air. Now he gets it done on the ground. Adds 6 more to that score. 48-14. Now your score. An extra point depending. We're going to have a running clock for the last 13 minutes.
2nd week in a row, Kaminsky with a rushing touchdown and 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good day at the office, Dennis, wouldn't you?
Off to a great start here, the new signal caller. He's following in the footsteps of Brady Stevens, who was an all-conference quarterback 2 years ago, and then, of course, no all-conference selections this past spring because no standings were kept for the Big 8. And the extra point is good.
So it is 49-14. Sun Prairie on their home opener is just walloping Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln High School. Certainly some solid flashes from the Wisconsin Rapids offense, Dennis, but these 2 teams seem like they're in different leagues.
Yeah, that was 2-minute, 1-second drive, 7 plays, 27 yards. So when they needed to run some time off the clock, no big plays on that one, just steady, sure and steady. And now again, 7 touchdowns, 6 by the offense, all directed by Kaminsky. I think it's about time for him to say goodnight and
play the backup.
Play the backups. Gets the reserve some very good time in for all their hard work and practice. And you don't want to get anybody hurt now. You don't want any of your starters get hurt here when you're up by 5 touchdowns.
Right. 49-14 the score here at Sun Prairie High School, Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field.
Well, now they can, what was the JV score? It was 42-0 at halftime for the JV.
Yeah, they ended up, Wisconsin Rapids did get a touchdown on the board before the end of the game.
But they had to outscore the JV, but they can say, yeah, but you gave up 2 scores.
Right.
And then there's always, you always got
always a good back and forth,
back
exactly.
And forth. That's the fun part about being on a team, teasing each other.
No doubt about it.
But the varsity guys are impressed. JV came out and had an outstanding game, and now they followed it up.
Kick is up, and away. And again, wow, that might be the best one yet, Dennis.
Yep, that's
the end zone.
6 kickoffs in the end zone. 6 to 7. I like that.
I do as well. 1:32 left in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, you found a kicker. You have a kickoff return.
You found a kicker.
And you got a quarterback. Yeah, I think they're. This is what too with the Big 8 since Verona joined the Big 8 back in 2008. Not having non-conference games. These first 2, Sun Prairie's been able to play a bunch of players and do a lot of different things. And now next week, Madison LaFollette. But LaFollette's got to go, wow, these guys have scored 97 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're looking to crack 100, which would just be outrageous. Now here's a pitch to the running back for Rapids and a nice hole up the sideline. It's Austin Juniman on the carry for the Red Raiders. Now, as you mentioned, Dennis, Sun Prairie. We've mentioned a bunch of the juniors. The quarterback, Jerry Kaminsky, a junior. Colton Walters, the running back, a junior. Connor Stoff, the number 2 wide receiver, seemingly this year, a sophomore. The kicker is a junior in
Vanderwall.
Trevor Scholes. Vanderwall is a junior. A name we haven't said a lot of tonight, but has been in on a couple tackles defensively. Jay Allen Dane, the son of 1999 Heisman Trophy winner Ron Dane. He's a junior. So this team's going to be good. Again in 2022, returning most of their important pieces. Of course, they lose Addison Ostranga and Isaac Ham, who isn't even playing tonight.
Yeah, you have your studs not out there. And they graduated quite a good bunch of guys from that spring team, that defense that was superb.
But again, Dennis, I guess we don't know of those players who will be at Sun Prairie East next year. Some of them may
that's the question.
go to Sun Prairie West.
They're going to be playing. There's going to be a lot more players playing football for Sun Prairie next year.
No doubt
Two
about
teams.
it. All right, away we go. Now a first down from midfield for Wisconsin Rapids. The handoff is to Eric Haupt. And Haupt takes it right past midfield up to about the 47 or 46-yard line, depending on the mark.
Yeah, that might be the end of the night for Rostovich.
And that is the end of the third quarter here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. 49-14 is your score. GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB Academy wants to be a part of your plan to reach your potential. Utilize GRB Academy's 52,000 square foot facility, 14 batting cages, and 6,000 square foot weight room. Personal lessons are available year-round with over 300 college players, over 150 D1 players. GRB has led the way in the Midwest for college recruitment and player development. Visit grbacademy.com for more information.
Yeah, I'm jealous. God, I wish I could have had that when I was growing up. Being able to go out and play ball in the middle of the wintertime.
Yeah, that's quite the spot, the GRB Academy. 52,000 square foot facility. That is ginormous.
And Coach Rob Hamilton for Sun Prairie, the baseball coach, said, yeah, having that facility pretty close to Sun Prairie is
not too shabby, right?
Yeah, they've been able to take advantage. A lot of his kids get over there for extra hitting, extra fielding, working on their skills. And yet you still got players that are playing multiple sports at the high school level, too.
So away we go for this fourth quarter, folks. Alex Schroep alongside the Dean, Dennis Semrau here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field as Rapids, moving from our right to our left now, hands the ball off. Good for a first down. Past the 49-yard line of Sun Prairie.
That's Philip Ross, who we saw earlier in the game.
And the clock will continue to tick as we start this fourth quarter, with Sun Prairie leading by 35 points. 49-14. Sengbush under center. Diamond formation, one receiver to his left. He'll hand it off. It's Ross again.
Oh,
He gets swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage there, Dennis. Nice play by the Sun Prairie defensive line.
Billy Benson, number 50.
Billy Benson. That's a great lineman name.
Yes, it is. One thing I did want to mention when I was talking to Coach Biola this week, that the last 4 years they've had a military game where they've raised money, $10,000 a year for the honor flight to honor veterans. This year they have a back-the-badge game, and the money's going to the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department K-9 unit.
Wow, that's very neat.
And all the kids are involved in promoting
Very
that.
cool. A nice pitch there by Sangbush. A nice run here by Boobles. And that's well more than enough for a first down. All the way up to the 29-yard line of Sun Prairie. Nice play there by Connor Boobles.
Number one for them. I love it. Both teams have a number one.
Number one in the program, number one in your hearts, Dennis.
Yes. I like to punch in, put a couple more points here up on the board before this one's over.
A high-scoring affair here. Sun Prairie's done most of the scoring, but 14 points on the board for the Red Raiders. And here goes Philip Ross again. A nice carry all the way up to the 21-yard line of Sun Prairie. Gain of 8.
Jonathan Weah, junior defensive back in on the tackle there.
That's a fun last name. You want to say that 3 times?
Yeah, well. Weah.
Weah. Like the Weack, says Jesse Nelson here on our video stream. Jesse Nelson helping out. Appreciate his help, as well as Justin Wyleski here on site with us producing our video stream for the first time ever on Wisconsin On Demand. We'll be doing it again tomorrow. Lake Mills and Edgewood starting at 4:30 at kickoff, 4:15 pregame. Monte Ball and Aaron Norvell will join me there from Edgewood as there's a nice pitch and a nice play again by Connor Buchholz. He's gaining some momentum here as he's getting some carries here in the fourth quarter. Nice to see some other guys getting some workload as Leo Brostovich has really been the workhorse back tonight for Wisconsin Rapids, Dennis.
Yes, he has, and it's a good time to get some reps here for your reserves.
Yeah, Brostovich will come out of the game, as will Austin Juneman, the 1-2 punch in the backfield for Wisconsin Rapids. So let's give some other guys some shots. Philip Ross and Eric Haupt in there now, as well as Buchholz. He'll stay in the game. That makes up your diamond formation. Handoff to Ross. Ross uses the block of his right guard, Carter Martin, and falls forward for a nice gain. Now within the 10-yard line. Up to the 8, it looks like. Well, the 9, actually, Dennis will call it.
I'm sure Sun Prairie defense would like to get a stop here and keep them out of the end zone, make this 4-down territory. But, hey, you got a 35-point lead out there. It's been a good night for your program overall.
Yeah, not too bad. 48 points last week, 49 points thus far this week with 8 minutes left in the game and counting.
But you bet Coach Kaminsky will find a few things on the game film.
Oh, no doubt about it.
To work on. All coaches
No doubt
do.
about it. He was given a very impassioned speech behind the press box and bleachers here on this side of the stadium during halftime. There were some things he wasn't happy about, Dennis, and that's a sign of a good football coach.
Yep, never be satisfied.
And
enjoy what you're doing, but hey, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, Brian Kaminsky in his 20th year for the Sun Prairie Cardinals. Tonight will be his 143rd win as at the helm of this program. Third down snap now. He's going to take it himself, and he's wrapped up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe. Cardinals there. First one up to celebrate is Tyler Walls, the junior.
I don't think he wanted to keep it. I think he wanted to pitch it out to number 24, Eric Haupt, but thought better of it. Might have gotten knocked away or turned it over. So we've only had one turnover, one interception, which Sun Prairie scored off of.
And it was Addison Ostrenga, the Iowa commit, on the interception for Sun Prairie. Back into the game now is Austin Juneman on fourth down.
So we have a 4th and 2, trying to punch it in, and Sun Prairie looking for one more big stop to kind of cap what has been an outstanding
Not
performance.
quite a goal line stand here, but at the 6-yard line, 7-yard line.
Yep.
Just about. Big play here. 4th and 2. Handoff to Ross. Did he get it, Dennis? It's going to be close. I think he did.
I think he made it, yeah.
And they do signal he got it. So a fresh set of downs here. Well in Sun Prairie territory, marked at the 4-yard line. Nice carry there by Philip Ross.
Well, you got a 1st and goal at the 4, and sure Rapids will take 4 cracks at it if they need it. But for Sun Prairie, here's another chance to get some work on your goal line defense. Things you try to simulate in practice, but never the same as the game situations.
And for all of you with your headphones in here at the stadium, 908-339, you're winning 50-50 raffle ticket tonight. So head on over to the concession stand if you've got that lucky ticket and you're tuned in to us here on Wisconsin On Demand.
I don't know what the winning total is.
They didn't give it to us.
Yeah, I was at a
nice. There's a lot of
hometown game.
people here.
Hometown game won $1,600 on Sunday.
You did?
Nope, somebody.
Oh, the winner did.
I drew out the winning ticket.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you better not have won it then.
Yeah.
Another carry there by Philip Ross. Falls forward for about a gain of 1. And brings up a 2nd, and let's see where they mark it. Oh, they're going to mark it right at the 1. I think that's a generous mark, but the Rapids will take anything they can get here down 35 with 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, that running clock is pretty much taking care of the quarter here.
And you mentioned it, Dennis. This will be the final non-conference game across the state for Sun Prairie and Rapids as Philip Ross gets in there for a Wisconsin Rapids touchdown. Make it 20-49.
Yeah, 1-yard plunge there. It makes the score look a little bit better. I mean, the way things started out, we were looking at a running clock at halftime. But Rapids showed some fight in them tonight. And I'm sure there's enough positives out of this for Coach to build on. when you've scheduled 2 of the top 4 teams in the state coming in Muskego and Sun Prairie.
Yeah, Sun Prairie really, really looks good, Dennis. We'll see them again later this year. And they look like we'll certainly see them deep into the playoffs as well.
Well, I get to see Middleton tomorrow night to see how they fare, and then we'll have Verona down the road here. The 3 best teams in the Big 8, I think, though. With the 4 Madison schools having a year of not competing, it's going to be a tough year for them, and then Beloit Memorial. So it's basically a 3-horse race in the Big 8. And those 3 teams played each other in the spring, and Sun Prairie went 4-0 against Verona and Middleton. Middleton and Verona split. But I don't see anybody challenging. We'll see the Middleton Sun Prairie game no matter what. It's always the Battle of the Cardinals is always a good one. In Verona, Dave Richards has got a good quarterback, Fink, who threw a couple touchdown passes last week.
Sure.
So waiting to see what they have. But right now, I'd say the favorite coming in was Sun Prairie, and they have not done anything through the first 2 weeks to dissuade me from that. And after watching this one, I voted for the AP poll. I think I had Sun Prairie 4th last week. I think I might move them up a couple of spots.
I think you might just have to.
But you got Muskego and Franklin in front of them. You know, those and Wanakee. We got for the.
You're just one vote, Dennis. That doesn't mean everybody's going to follow suit.
No, we got.
Follow your heart,
yeah.
Mr. Semrau.
We only do 3 divisions: large, medium, and small. So that makes it a little different.
That does. There's the kick, and it'll go straight out of bounds. They've even got the reserves in there for Sun Prairie, and they're not going to kick to them after what happened earlier tonight.
Poinette had a kicker named Tony Yelk. The Yelk family had three boys that all played and were kickers for Poinette. Tony, I remember when your Columbus played Poinette, and I asked the Columbus coach, I said, so who's returning kicks for you? He goes, doesn't matter. He's going to put it in the end zone or kick it 50 yards on a punt anyway. So it works both ways. Sometimes the other team's got a good kicker that just takes care of your return game.
He's the dude, Dennis Semrau. I'm Alex Stroff. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania Thursday night edition here on Wisconsin On Demand. Thanks so much for following along with us as we launch the video chapter of Prep Mania. We'll be doing this every game all season.
How's that a cool card on the scoreboard? Look at that. Those special effects there.
Dennis is enthralled by the 3D graphics here at Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium. As he's dubbed it the University of Wisconsin at Sun Prairie. Backup quarterback in now, Jackson Coppin. He gets a carry. He gets nailed there at the 37-yard line. And Dennis, this clock continues to run. Under 5 minutes now left in this one. Overall, a terribly impressive showing as his night is over for Jerry Kaminsky, the junior quarterback. 3 touchdowns in the air and a rushing touchdown.
Oh, by the way, Rapids has a new turf field this year, from what I understand. But I don't think they've got anything like this for a stadium, though. I'd be really surprised.
This is the most unbelievable high school stadium I've seen in the state of Wisconsin. I've been to Texas. I've seen some crazy stadiums down in Texas during the high school football season, but never anything quite like this.
Well, you know,
in Wisconsin.
In the South, there are only 2 sports, football and spring football.
Right, so. Exactly.
All right, that's apples and oranges.
Apples and oranges, indeed. Oh, great carry there.
Excellent run.
Charlie Shower, the senior running back. And that'll give them a fresh set of downs, Sun Prairie, as they continue to roll on. Under 4 minutes now. As mentioned, this will be the 143rd win for Brian Kaminsky, who will go to a total record, overall record as the head coach in his 20th year. 143-52. According to my mental math there, Dennis, that's a pretty darn good record.
Yes, it is. Outstanding coach. He's taken a couple of teams to the state finals, looking for that first state title. Their only title in school history, 1995, under Coach Mike Hahn, who was his father-in-law. So I'm sure father-in-law is saying, come on, Brian, let's go.
Let's go. Let's get
your
one.
Turn for a title.
So certainly looks like they are geared up for a title run this year as the handoff again goes to Shower, who gets another nice gain past midfield or maybe right at midfield, as that will bring up a 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Rapids
Under
defense,
3 minutes
they're
now.
fired up. They're making some good hits out here. Guys, the reserves trying to pump each other up a little bit. Make some good plays. all on film. You're all going to see this next week. So you want to go out fighting, and the Red Raiders are.
Go out fighting indeed. From the 48 of Red Raider territory, Sun Prairie continues to roll. The snap will go to Coppin, who's in the shotgun. Shower next to him, and one receiver right, two to his left. Handoff to Coppin, who just couldn't break that tackle. Nice tackle there by the Red Raiders' David Evans. And the clock continues to run. No 2-minute warning in high school football, but we'll call this the unofficial 2-minute warning, brought to you by the Dean Dennis Semra.
Yeah, Coppin getting some good reps here as the time's running out here. Quarterback plays at Kaminsky, who had an outstanding evening.
Outstanding evening indeed for Kaminsky. His dad, the head coach, got to be proud of what his junior son did tonight. Well, as the clock continues to run, this looks like this will probably end up as our final score. 49-21 as we're under 90 seconds and a false start there. Maybe an offsides, actually, excuse me, there on Wisconsin Rapids. I know it is called on Sun Prairie. The Sun Prairie offensive linemen were celebrating a bit, but it actually goes against them, and they will move it back. I want to tell you about Stoughton Trailers, big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. In their 60th year, Stoughton Trailers has built a lot of trailers, and their customers want more. Now hiring for first and second shift at Broadhead, Evansville, and Stoughton locations. Assemblers, forklift drivers, welders, and more. New higher pay rates. STOjobs.com is the place to go. STOjobs.com. Stoughton Trailers, big trailers and big opportunities. 45 seconds and counting remain in this one as Sun Prairie will go on to 2-0 in this short high school football season thus far, as the handoff goes to Coppin once again. He sheds a tackle, breaks another one up towards the 45-yard line. As we're under 30 seconds, I assume that will be the final play of the game. Maybe one more, as it is fourth down.
One interesting things looking at the roster here for Sun Prairie. They do something which I like. The honor roll. Anybody who's on the honor roll is listed, and Kaminsky and Estringa are both honor roll students. You know, and your best players are good in the classroom. That bodes well for leadership. And again, that is the final play.
That is the final play here from Bank of Sun Prairie Stadium at Ashley Field. The final score, Sun Prairie in their home opener puts up 49 points after putting up 48 last week in their season opener. Wisconsin Rapids scores 21. A solid showing from them, but man, oh man, they play one of the toughest teams in the state this week in the Sun Prairie Cardinals. What an absolutely thrilling showing for Sun Prairie, who puts up 49 points. Can't say enough about their junior quarterback, Jerry Kaminsky. Dennis, an overall terribly impressive showing for the Sun Prairie Cardinals.
Yes, it is for the Cardinals. You know, coming in, their keys were to get Rapids behind the chains. They held them to 2 3-and-outs right away, forced them to throw the football, and try to contain Brostowicz, the running back, and he had some good carries tonight, but he did not dominate the game. And when you're making big play after big play like Sun Prairie did, it's awful tough. And your kicker puts the ball in the end zone almost 6 times tonight,
yeah.
7 attempts. This was just an overwhelming, outstanding game for Sun Prairie. They have sure things to work on. Receivers, more time with the quarterback. You know, it's Kaminsky's first full year as starter. Running game, they haven't had a lot of reps for the running back so far. But again, that's because you have 55, 51-yard touchdown runs or pass plays. But outstanding wide receiver core, too, here for Sun Prairie. That's something that teams are going to have to contend with.
Sun Prairie will open conference play next Friday, September 3rd, at home against Madison La Follette.
At Madison La Follette.
At Madison La Follette, excuse me. So conference play starting up next week, Dennis.
Yeah, their Big 8 opener at home. Their home opener for the conference will be Beloit the 10th, then at Madison Memorial and West. So they're going to have some games under their belts before they face Verona and Middleton. And if they're going to be getting better than this, look out rest of the Big 8.
Look out rest of the Big 8 indeed. Speaking of which, Middleton and Waunakee tomorrow you'll be at, Dennis. Two solid teams in the area, Wanakee especially. You looking forward to that one?
Yes. Can't wait to see what Coach Rice has got for us this year. Not only are they running the spread now, but they're also doing a hurry-up offense. They've got a sound kicking game. Their specials have always been good. Their defense, Coach Rice is the defensive coordinator, and he makes sure that's priority number one. And they came out of the blocks against Madison Memorial last week. Very big 35-7 win, but again, some things for them to work on. And been waiting to see that game. The teams haven't played since they were in the Badger Conference back before Middleton moved to the Big 8. And I'll tell you, watching those two teams, we're going to have the Good Neighbor Festival in town for in Middleton, so that whole area is just going to be a zoo. There's a parade at 5 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And the pool's still open, or it was. I'm not sure if it is. So parking's going to be at a premium for that one tomorrow. But that's got to be a standing room only type of game.
Do they have float for you in the parade? Are you going to be sitting on a throne as
I'm
the
hoping
dean?
to be with I'm hoping to see the beginning of the Edgewood game before I got to go over there tomorrow. I want to see Lake Mills and Edgewood getting a chance finally to play on first game for them on that brand new field. Well, it's not brand new anymore. It's been around for a few years.
But it is their first opportunity to play a real football game on it, and that's what we will have tomorrow. Myself, Monte Paul, and Aaron Norvell live from Madison Edgewood High School, their first home game in 26 years. The dean will be out in Middleton for Wanakee.
Bringing in the big
Middleton.
dogs, Monte.
Yeah, Monte's going to join us.
Yeah, get some Hollywood stories from Norvell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a game unlike we've ever had with those two in the booth with us. But looking forward to chatting it up with them. 4:30, 4:15 pregame right here on Wisconsin On Demand. Madison Edgewood Crusaders and the Lake Mills L-Cats. That's tomorrow. But today we have a final score of 49-21. The Sun Prairie Cardinals are 2-0 in this young high school football season. For the Ninja, Justin Wyleski, Jesse Nelson, and the Dean, Dennis Semrau, I'm Alex Stroff. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep